Studios, Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis and WPGFLP Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Sports 56 and 87.7 FM welcomes you to the Peter Edmiston with CJ Hurt. The first hour of the experience is brought to you by Lads for your zero-turn mower and golf car needs. Now, here are your hosts, Peter and CJ.
Yeah! Welcome in. Happy Thursday, everybody, on what is, I'm going to tell you right now, going to be the most beautiful, bestest day weather-wise of the summer. Right here. Like, this is it. This is the day. Like, it's probably maybe the only issue is it might be just a tad cold if you're going to a pool, because it's not like blazing hot. But otherwise, like if you're outside doing anything, like I don't care what it is. Today, go outside. We should be outside right now. We should be taking these mics and these cameras and everything else, and we should just be like
just outside.
Outside, man.
It is nice.
It is glorious out there.
Taking a back at
you
it.
Like that, eh? Uh-huh. See what I did there?
I see it.
You see
I
it.
see it.
Yeah, you see it. Yeah. Welcome in. My name is Peter Edmiston. That is CJ Hurt. This is the Peter Edmiston Experience with CJ Hurt. That is why we called it that. Max Vincent on the other side of the glass. He is Maximilian von Vincent to his friends and loved ones. No, he's not. He is Maximum Overdrive,
well,
Maximum Carnage, Maximum Security, Maximum Voltage. What?
We're his friends and loved ones.
Yeah, no, we're his only friends.
Yes.
And it's sad. 2% also.
2% in the house.
Over there doing his thing. Welcome in. On what is a very interesting Thursday indeed here on the program. So, coming up today, we have a bunch to discuss. We are going to celebrate with the Blues fans that are listening. There's quite a few Blues fans. It's amazing how many more Blues fans there are than there were a month or so ago. But
bandwagon.
You know, hey, listen, man,
get off that bandwagon. I was on it first. Like, there's no more room for you.
I can't. I have no way of knowing. So, God bless you. I watched Game 7 last night. I was really. That I can do. I can watch. One hockey game a year. I can watch basically the whole thing. And that was the one I watched.
Nothing like Game 7 in sports, especially in hockey.
Yeah. Oh man, they were slapping that puck around and
working the ice, baby.
Did they work the ice?
They worked the ice. You don't win 4-1 on the road and not work the ice. They were also very, very, this surprised me, because one of the major complaints, you guys know, we talked about this off air, is how they work the boards. Got to be strong when you get to the boards. And they weren't strong the first 6 games at the boards, but Game 7, super strong at the boards.
So they're strong on the boards. They worked the puck. The ice was worked as well. And
yes.
Also other stuff probably happened. We'll talk about that.
8-0. 8-0 the Blues were in the playoffs this year when trailing a series or tied in a series on the road. 8-0 on the road.
That's right.
That's ridiculous.
It's kind of wild. I don't know how else to describe it. They won the Stanley Cup. And they had a losing record at home in the playoffs, which is, again, that seems almost impossible, really. But there you go. So it's a big day, big night, big everything for St. Louis folks. They've been waiting for a championship for a while now. Blues fans, over 50 years, and here you go. You got one. They went at 4-1 last night in Game 7. We'll discuss that. Also, in the news for what is to this beautiful, beautiful day, you've got the Kevin Durant situation taking a more concrete turn. He underwent surgery yesterday, successful surgery for a ruptured Achilles. Although yet again, as ever, there seems to be some confusion or a lack of communication as the Warriors tweeted out or told assembled media that they didn't really know what was going on at this point. 15 minutes before he posted an Instagram picture of himself post-surgery with and he'd written the caption, hey, I've had my surgery, everything looks good. So again, we seem like we're off the script here a little bit. Well,
they're saying, I can rock with this thought. They're saying, hey, Kevin wanted to be the one to tell everybody, so we were just following along with his wishes.
Yeah, there's a difference in that and saying like, we don't know what's going on.
That's what they say.
You could say, we're going to let Kevin tell you what's going on, and he should be doing that, shortly. That would, if you said that would sound a lot more like a more organized, put together group. That sounds like, because I've had teams have done that before, so that's happened. I've had teams say, we're going to wait till XYZ, whatever it is, wait till the surgery, wait till the MRI, wait till whatever it may be. The teams will say specifically like, we're going to wait for this, and then we're going to reveal it. Okay, well that sounds like a good communication process. You've let us know what's going on. This wasn't that. But yet again, it's just another weird thing to add to this weird scenario. But nonetheless, here we are. Like we are in a situation where this is it's a do or die for the Warriors tonight. Game 6, a huge game. The Raptors could win a championship on the road, much the way the Blues did yesterday, or the Warriors could close out Oracle Arena. Either way, it's a final game in Oracle Arena. They could close out in style and set up an epic Game 7 on Father's Day in Toronto. So that's coming up. Also today, Jonas Valanciunas, his deadline for opting in is today. It's a $17.6 million contract. At some point today, he will have to send in that paperwork or to let the league know that paperwork is on the way if he wants to opt in. I fully expect him to do that. But we gotta wait. He's been on a fishing trip in Norway, so
like an all day type fishing trip, from what Coach was saying.
Yeah,
just on the boat. Yeah, just getting it in.
Yeah, well, we talked about. I think we talked about that off the air. That I was in contact with some folks that were in contact with him and trying to run him down in the advance of this, and they told me. Like Tuesday, like, well, he's in Norway. I'm like, huh? They're like, yeah, he's fishing. Oh, okay. And you know what? As it turns out, I looked into it, and apparently that's a pretty popular deal. Like,
really?
Oh yeah.
Just to pack up and go to Norway to fish.
Well, I mean, like, it's a beautiful. There's lots of. I don't specifically know what kind of fishing he's doing, but I mean,
maybe catfish.
Catfish. You know what? I'm gonna say no.
I'm gonna say catfish.
Oh, you think it's? I think it's probably bass.
I'm going catfish.
Crappie.
Okay.
Yeah. Some of that stuff.
Yeah.
Some of that cat.
Some of that cat.
Some of that cat.
Got to get some of that cat.
That breaded cat.
Some of that cat up in Norway. He's getting it.
Boneless cat?
I don't know. They weird over in Norway. I bet it's bone-in cat.
Bone-in cat?
Yep.
Well, either way, whether he's doing catfish, I don't know if he's fishing for hush puppies. On top of that, it's unclear what side items he's fishing for as well. Yes. But he's
he doesn't strike me as a hush puppy kind of guy.
He really doesn't. No.
Side of spaghetti. Like spaghetti.
People do that. I don't know.
Like that's what I see on his fish plate.
I can't do the fish and the.
Why not?
And the spaghetti. It's just, I don't know. I mean, it's fine. It's just not I can't. I've seen it. Mm-hmm. It's happened at various family functions I've been at. I just no. Never wasn't a fan. My mom also had this thing. I don't know if your family had this or not. My mom had a deal where she would not drink milk with fish. Or
yes.
You will die or something. Yes. There's some sort of situation that's just bad. You're not supposed to do it.
No. I do it all the time, but I don't know why
you drink milk all the time.
All the time.
All the time.
Every time I get fish, I get it with a piece of bread, my side of spaghetti, and I drink me some milk.
2%?
No, chocolate.
Chocolate milk. I mean, you are chocolate milk. So.
I am.
So there you go. You can get in touch with us 360-8255 on the phone lines. The First Bank text line 67129. Love to get in touch with each and every one of you. Well, not every one of you. I mean, if it's up to you really if you want to.
I want to hear from every one of them. Every Memphian in the city today. I want you to call in and text and just say hey.
Just say hey, what's up?
Just hey, what's up, and then hang up. That's all.
Okay. Max, you ready for that?
Max is ready. Max can do it.
Everyone's going to call up and just be like, hey, what's up?
Hey, what's up?
And you're just going to, and then they're going to hang up. And you're going to say,
next call.
You're going to say, what's up? But it's going to be too late because they will have already hung up. So that's the plan.
Yes.
Are you ready for that?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Right. There we go. 2% ready.
2% is ready. Although I'm not able to get our text. Are you guys having trouble with the text? I can't get any text. I can't.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on. We're having some.
Yeah, during the break, we'll have to reach out to some people about some things.
About some things.
About some things. Multiple.
Oh, okay.
Multiple.
I just know the one thing. I don't know what.
Hey, Peter. Just let me reach out to the people about.
Are you good to go? No.
Not working for me either.
All right. The text line is we're having some issues with the text line. So from now on, so here's what you have to do. If you were going to think about sending a text, what you need to do is call Max and just tell him real fast, and he'll write it down, and then he'll hold it up to us, and it'll look like a text to us, but in reality, it will be you talking to Max. Okay, so 360-8255, a vocal text.
I like that automated text.
Well, I mean, not automated. Although you could have like a Siri or something like that.
Yeah, and Max is going to be our Siri. He's going to speak in the text. He's got the voice for it.
If Siri sounded like Max, I don't think that would work out too well.
Hey, Max. You gotta hop on and be Siri when I say, hey, Max.
What?
That would be great.
What? Huh?
What was the score of the game last night?
4-1.
That would be perfect.
He wasn't talking about that game.
That was the game I was talking about, Max. Don't let Peter.
He was talking about Cubs Rockies.
Don't let Peter get into your head.
You've already screwed up Siri. Siri would be like, "What game are you referring to? What game exactly are you talking about, sir?" So anyway, Jonas Valanciunas, we'll figure out hopefully in the next little bit what he's going to be up to. Again, I would, if it is not him opting in, I would be quite surprised. But
would it mean anything major if he didn't opt in? Like, would it shake your confidence about this offseason so far for the Grizzlies if he doesn't opt in?
No.
Okay.
I mean, it would be a little unusual, and they would have to kind of recalibrate some things probably. But I don't think it would be any. Again,
there would be nothing to like read in the tea leaves about him deciding not to opt in. Other than he thinks he can get a long-term deal.
Well, yeah, I think it would just be a statement on his part that he felt like he would be better served at this point in his career doing something else. That he felt like that. To me, it would indicate a stronger push towards a rebuild or a lack of confidence or whatever it may be. Again, I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's hard to envision turning down that much money, $17.6 million. He's not getting that in the open market. He's not going to make that up in all likelihood, even on a long-term deal. I don't know how much more than that he's going to make. So, all the issues aside, all the skepticism about the new coach or about, whatever issues could theoretically be out there for him. I'm not saying he is. I know he spoke with Taylor Jenkins and they seem, everyone seems positive enough about it, but like if he had some kind of underlying issue or something like even that, it would be hard to envision it being so bad that he would turn down that much money. So again, I think the expectation should be, 95% likelihood that he's going to opt in. But the only real issue for me was, in terms of opting out, was whether the Grizzlies were going to try to get him a longer term deal.
Mm-hmm.
I think he would have opted out for a, 3 or 4 year deal. He was open to that, and the Grizzlies probably were more open to that under the previous regime. But this group, I don't think is quite there in terms of using him or locking him up at this portion because you got to think about like what is he. What are you going to do over the next 3 or 4 years if you're the Grizzlies? And it sounds like, based on the discussion yesterday, and I was at the press conference in which Taylor Jenkins was introduced, and I asked, a particularly pertinent question in this discussion. I said, you've had 4 coaches in the last 5 years, and I asked him if he was concerned about, or if he asked for specifics about, longevity and like, were you worried about this going in? you and your agent, and then I asked them if they, felt compelled to give him more of a commitment to say, we're not going to do what we've done before. We're different now. I'm changed, baby. I'm different. I'm not like that before. I'm totally different. I know I did that other stuff, but that wasn't me. That's not the real me. I'm different.
You me, girl.
That's right. Come on, baby. Come on, you can commit. Come on.
I know my calculus. It says you plus me equals us. Together forever, baby. Forever. I'm never gonna do you wrong.
That's basically what it comes down to. And so I asked them, like, do they have to, like, give some kind of a thing? And the answers were, yesterday, the introduction for Taylor Jenkins, there was a tremendous, he did a fine job. He was emotional, talking about people that he cared about. But there was a lot of corporate speak. They have a lot of corporate speak. They've really corporatized this whole thing. It's a lot of, synergy and, we're partners in this. This is a collaborative efforts, and we're gonna just a lot of that kind of thing, and not a lot of actual substance really to anything from yesterday. But I thought the most substantive thing was they said, this is a long-term commitment.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, something that they each said. Taylor Jenkins answered my question in a really obtuse way. I must be honest and say there was not at all. I mean, until the very his last sentence of like a 25-second answer was he had no concerns.
Mm-hmm.
But the previous sentences were all just kind of, we're excited to work together, and it's all that stuff. And the same thing with Zach Kleiman, who he just comes across very much as a lawyerly type.
Mm-hmm.
So I was hoping for a little more full on substance, but I do think they at least made the point that they're going to commit long term, and they're going to have to, because this team is going to have to rebuild in all likelihood. So it's just kind of a matter of not if, but when.
Mm-hmm.
And in doing so, Taylor Jenkins, if he's going to be the guy, you got to give him years, plural, to be able to actually do the rebuild, if that's what you want to do. So time will tell. They committed to Fizdale. They committed to JB. They committed to everybody. So time will tell if they're actually going to do this. But they say they will.
And new group. So take them at their word until that word is no longer viable or no longer means anything. Let's see if they do new group, new coach. It is, for me, it is all about, okay, let's give them a chance and let's see what they do with this chance. Let's see if they can do the right thing and get the right pieces in this Mike Conley deal. Let's see if they do the right thing in the draft and get Ja, maybe get another piece as well in a different trade. Let's see how they use Ja, hopefully, and Jaren, and what that looks like, and how they incorporate everybody else into this new NBA that we're seeing, which isn't new anymore, into the NBA that we're seeing, the all the 3-point shooting, all the offensive metrics, all of that. They want to be a numbers-driven franchise. Cool. They've been behind in that here in the recent years. They're trying to catch up. Let's see if they catch up, and let's see if that numbers-driven way of running an organization works. So I am waiting to see. But yeah, that press conference yesterday was a lot of, and it was a different sort of coach speech. You brought it up with the corporate speak. They seem all the way in on running this thing like it's in Silicon Valley. Mm-hmm. Like that is what it put me immediately in the mind frame of, like, am I watching a basketball press conference for a coach, or am I watching somebody introduce the new manager at the new hot tech company? And let's just see if that works, man.
Well, it's what they're going to do. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about other impressions from the press conference here on the program. Again, texts are a little iffy this morning, so hold off on that front. You can send tweets at Peter Edmiston, at Conradicalness, at Sports56WHBQ. If you want to do it that way, you can also message us on Facebook, because we are Facebooking it up. and other platforms as well. We're on. Are we? How many other platforms are we on?
I'm pretty sure we are on Instagram Live. Pretty sure we're on the Twitter.
Do we accept comments on Instagram Live?
I don't know. I don't have my Instagram pulled up to check.
Unbelievable.
I know it.
Unbelievable. Go ahead and you fire one off. We'll find it somehow.
Yeah, just send it to us. I'm on Instagram at @new_conradicalness.
The new Conradicalness.
Yeah. I got locked out of the other one.
You got to get that unlocked? Come on.
I can't figure it out.
Come on, man. It cannot be that hard.
It is.
So, and you can also leave your message with Max as well if you want to do the voicemail text, and Max will be happy to jot that down for you. Right? He looks moderately happy to do that. I mean, that's he's not unhappy. He's not unhappy to do that. Okay.
In a good mood the past 2 days. I like this, Max.
I'm always in a good mood. What are you talking about?
No, you're not.
He's generally in a decent mood, I would say. That's true. Generally speaking.
Oh, forgot to ask you, Peter. How many times did he mention Grit and Grind?
None.
Exactly.
0.
No.
That I heard.
You lost that bet?
We got to get that wheel up in here.
Yeah, I know. Our wheel of punishments.
Well, it's
would
coming.
be in effect.
It's coming.
It's coming, yeah.
Because I would have had to spin it today.
Also, major props last night to the St. Louis Blues for cursing wildly whenever they touched the Stanley Cup. That was a big. I loved it. Can't get enough of that. Just blurting out F words. I mean, it was like they couldn't help it. They just blurted them out. NBC, like prime time, network TV. Holy F. That's fantastic.
I think that that's what happens when you touch the cup.
I loved it. I would do the same thing. Or the same effing thing. Well, I don't mind a little profanity. So yeah, that's just me. Let's take a break. We'll come back. Just getting started here on The Experience. Peter and CJ with you on a Thursday. It's beautiful outside. Go outside. Open your windows. I don't know. Do something cool outside. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 87.7 FM.
Check out Dave Voloshin and Brett Norsworthy with Sports Time. Weekdays from 3 till 6 on Sports 56 and 87.7 FM.
I wish we could stay here forever. We deliver olives, Greek sandals, and everything you need to relive that perfect trip to the Mediterranean. But what you really get when FedEx knocks on your door is so much more.
FedEx Delivery.
Memories. What we deliver by delivering.
Make Edwin Watts Golf the place to shop for dads and grads with their summer savings sale happening now. Go faster and farther with the new Callaway Epic Flash Driver with flash face technology for more ball speed and distance. Get custom fit for free today and measure your distance with Bushnell GPS and rangefinders and save up to $70. Choose from the Phantom, the Hybrid, or the Tour V4 Shift. Edwin Watts Golf is your place to shop for the hottest golf gear this summer. Edwin Watts, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee.
Up your life with Lads. It's time to be the talk of the neighborhood or lake house with that custom golf cart built by the experts at Lads. With both new and used models, they are sure to have exactly what you need. The brand new Club Car Onward encourages families and friends to come together and enjoy being outside. Find out more at ladsonline.com or call 901-324-8801. Lads, up your life with Lads. Lads, up your life.
Get your gun, Nelly, and saddle up Penelope as Western Trading Days at Sunrise Buick GMC. Old-time trading prices on over 800 new Buicks and GMCs, and the Sunrise Used Car Corral has over 150 in stock. Sunrise has rustled up a good-looking herd of cars and trucks under $99.95. Ranch managers have been told to cut prices to the bone. If you're a good person with bad credit, SunriseMemphis.com will help you get your brand on one of these little fillies. Free hot dogs and Cokes at the Chuck Wagon. Western Trading Days, 385 in Houston, Levy, and Collierville. Cars cost less at Sunrise, partner.
I'm here with the Rendezvous's first female waitress, Joanna McKee. First thing, how was it being the first female waitress at such a legendary place?
I have to say it was pretty awesome, but it's also nice to be sharing the spotlight now.
I hear things have changed regarding reservations at the Rendezvous.
They have. Last December, we started taking reservations for parties of 8 or more, and that was a really big hit, so we've been doing it ever since.
Nice, Joanna.
Yeah, we're just trying to make it easier for people to come down here. We also are doing something great called the valet parking. So we subsidize with the valet parking companies to try to keep the price down. It's only $8, which is really cheaper than most of the parking garages in our area.
What about picking up food to go? Where can one park for that? Do you have to pay for parking?
You do not have to pay to park. You just pull into the alley, pull up to the parking sign, put on your flashers, and we'll have you in and out in about 10 minutes.
So takeaway is you can now make reservations for parties of 8 or more. Valet parking is available. If you want a little rendezvous at home, you guys and gals make it easy.
You got it.
The Rendezvous, a family restaurant in the alley in downtown Memphis since 1948.
Got something you want to get off your chest?
You better have a backup plan.
Want to join the conversation?
Someone needs to tell him he has to grow up.
Join us on the First Bank phone lines at 360-8255 or the First Bank text line at 67129. Welcome back to the Peter Edmiston Experience with CJ Hurt. This hour is brought to you by Lads for your zero-turn mower and golf car needs. Here once again are Peter and CJ.
The Blues! They did it!
Yeah.
All the Blues fans here.
Stand up.
Roll down those windows and crank it up. Oh, yeah. That's right. This song, come on now. Now we get to the chorus here, right here. It's about to get pumped up here. Here it comes right here.
Shit.
Got to turn it up right here. That's right. Was it something again? Wait, was it something that they said? Something that they said.
Yeah.
Shouting Gloria. Gloria.
You hit that note pretty nice there.
I did.
I like that.
Yeah, I mean, like, it wasn't great. It was all right. Compared to CJ, I mean, Pavarotti.
Compared to me, it was nothing.
Again, compared to Pavarotti, compared to CJ,
Nothing compared to.
Compared to CJ, you win American Idol.
I know. I was the musical genius over here.
You guys gonna make me bust out my singing to show you that you're wrong.
Do not threaten the listeners like that, please. I think I straddle the area of just about decent enough at singing where I can do karaoke and it's okay, but certainly not good enough to actually sing at any kind of a function that's a legitimate singing function. I can kind of like I'm sort of on, you know, I can kind of be on the tune a little bit, pitch okay, you know, I'm all right. That's about the best I can do. I'm like the equivalent of like an 85 golfer, you know, like I can be all right.
I am the equivalent of
150 golfer.
Tiger Woods. No, I'm playing. No, seriously. No. I'm more like Phil.
You're the equivalent of Tiger Woods singing. No,
I'm Phil. Yeah. I'm definitely Phil Mickelson.
I've heard Tiger sing. You're very much like Tiger singing.
Can Tiger not sing?
No. At all. Very similar. So I would agree with that.
What song was he singing? Do you remember?
I don't remember now. You can kind of envision though. You can tell. Like, you can envision. It's not.
It's like Hootie and the Blowfish. Yeah. Like that song.
But see, I will say this: truthfully, when you go and do karaoke, it's really just about the entertainment value. It's about believing in yourself.
Yep.
It's not about actually singing well. I mean, that's nice, I suppose. But really, it's about putting on a show. You want to be a showman rather than just, you know, get up there and sing a song technically well, but like not putting on a show. No, you got to get up there and perform. Perform for the people.
You got your hand motions down?
They're thirsting for performance. I do a little crowd work. You know, how you doing?
You do.
Good to see you. What's your name? It's, you know.
Just in the middle of thong song.
Yeah,
just hey, how you doing?
Yeah, how you doing? I got to go and talk. You know, talk to some folks, see what they're thinking of the show so far. You know, get some feedback. from the crowd. Yeah, you got to get in there, man, and get them up off their seats. Chris tweets in. He says, we have room in the tenor section of our church choir, Peter Edmiston.
Oh!
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Can I get in that?
No, I don't think they can.
That's a big no.
Yeah, it's
Guys aren't Chris. Chris, can I get in it?
all right. Well, Chris, feel free to. I will warn you that you guys are going to have a lot of work with CJ. But he could be bass. Can you
Absolutely.
sing like bass, just real like bass notes?
No. I can't. Listen, the stick is done. I can't sing at all. I don't sing in the shower. I don't sing anywhere.
You don't sing in the shower?
No.
Oh, that's the best place to sing.
No. My wife will come in there and be mad at me.
Why? Come on, man.
Because it's bad, Peter.
I mean,
it is so bad.
I've heard you sing. It's
No,
definitely
you
bad.
haven't. You heard me goof around. Wait till
Oh my god.
like a juvie song come
So
on.
it's worse?
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah. New edition, Can You Stand the Rain? Butchered it. She won't listen to it anymore. I ruined that song for her. Wow. Yeah.
Okay.
It's hard to ruin New Edition.
Thank you for not singing.
No, well, to her, I don't. You guys, like, I don't care. I'll ruin all of your songs. Like, that means nothing to me.
Chris says yes. He said you're in.
Oh, hot diggity dog.
Yeah, okay.
Well,
they got a lot of work to do with you. I'll say that.
I'm singing a whisper. I'm
What?
not even going to sing. I'm just going to move my mouth.
The whispers, like Rocksteady. You could do that.
I can't do rock steady. I will not besmirch the good name or the whispers with rock steady.
You were all that I anticipated.
I could do the whispers move, though. Because all they do is this.
Every night. But I knew love would be complicated. Yeah, come on.
And then they spin.
Yeah.
And they pose.
Absolutely.
And they go back to rocking and snapping.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can do that. I can definitely be in the background.
Like a doo-wop thing. You're
Yes.
you're all up in. So a few things as we talked about the Blues. We played a little Gloria there, in honor of the Blues winning Game 7. What do you think was the key to them winning Game 7?
The key?
As a hockey guy yourself,
As a hockey guy,
when you watch the game,
just
with
the
your hockey eye.
the overall speed and power with which they played, they were also more determined. They were just determined to go out there.
How do you determine that they were more determined?
The determination factor, Peter.
Right.
You look at everything going on the ice, and you say, okay, loose pucks. Who's getting the loose pucks? The Blues are. Who's making all the hits? The Blues are. Who's simply flying around working the ice? The Blues were.
Who had more shots?
The Blues.
No, the Bruins had a lot more.
Well, quality shots. Who had more quality shots, Peter?
If
The Blues had more quality
shots.
shots.
Goals, then yes.
Yes, the Blues had more quality shots. Is there more quality shot than a goal? No. And the Blues had 4 of them, and the other team had 1.
Who was the other team again?
The other one. So the Blues got 4. Those are real quality shots. That last one that got in for the other team, like it was limp noodle shot. I can't believe that went in. You had Jim Halpert. You had Roy sitting in the crowd cheering for the Blues. You had Pam.
Yep.
Sitting in the crowd cheering for the other team, I think. Or wait, Pam was cheering for the Blues.
Pam was cheering for the Blues.
Jim and Roy were cheering for the other team. And Pam's team won. Why Pam is the best office character. Right there.
That's right.
Case
you know
closed.
what? That means that Pam went home with Stanley.
Pam did go home with Stanley. Pam and Stanley got together again. That's what's up. That's exciting. Hats off to the Blues. Gloves off to them. Sticks held high to them. Grab that Stanley Cup and do all types of unimaginable, unspeakable things to it.
Did you think? What do you think about the performance in the pipes from the St. Louis goalkeeper, who was very good? I won't even have to say his
You
name,
don't.
'cause
You know I
his
know.
name.
You know I know his name.
But I mean, you should tell everyone his name.
You know his name. Anyway,
No, I do know. His name.
In the pipes, it was great. He hit him with the stinky glove. Man. Shut them down. That one goal, like I said, was more of a limp noodle shot. It kind of eased its way in there. But like that's going to happen. When you're up 4-0, that happens sometimes.
What's a limp noodle shot?
You don't know about a limp noodle shot?
Noodles are usually limpy anyway.
Yes. That's why it's a limp noodle shot. The limp noodle shot is when you come in
kind of a
and with
knuckleball shot.
See, it was. And just soft, slow, weird looking, and it kind of just sneaks past the goalie. That's a limp noodle shot. But again, hats off to the Blues, really working the ice, really working the boards, really powerful on the boards. That strength on that third line, we hadn't seen anything like that in Lord Stanley's Cup since 1972.
Who won that year?
You know who won.
No, I don't really. Tell me.
Edmonton won that year.
Ooh, you went out on the limb there. I think I would have said Montreal. I don't know. I'm not sure who won.
Edmonton won that year.
I guess it would have been Montreal on that one.
They really did the thing that year. Again, because they were so strong on the board. The third line was powerful. It was great to watch what happened last night. And again, 72, 73, last time we saw that.
The Bruins won 1972.
That's who I said. I said the Bruins won. Anyways, we've never seen anything like this since that time the Bruins won. How fitting is it that that's the last time we saw a third line this powerful? How fitting is that? Crazy how sports works, man. Crazy.
That none of that is mentioned in this article about the 1972 Stanley Cup Finals at all. What is mentioned is that they misspelled Boston Bruins. They spelled Boston with 2 Q's instead of 2 O's for some reason.
What?
That was mentioned. So any final thoughts on the hockey season as a whole before we shut down CJ's Hockey Corner?
Hockey, I can't wait for next season. It was a thrilling ride.
It starts next week. Next season. Next hockey season starts like next week. So.
Oh, it doesn't.
Basically, yeah, it does.
Okay. Well, I can't wait for next week then, when hockey gets back at it. All types of ice being worked all over this country.
All types of ice?
All types of ice in Florida,
ice, like
and Arizona, and LA, and Chicago, all over the country. Ice will be worked, damn it. I can't wait to watch it.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is CJ's Hockey Corner. We're taking requests over the next little bit. Now, obviously, I'd love to get the texts on it. I can't. I don't know that's worthy of applause, to be honest with you, but
thank you. Again, third line's got to be strong.
We're hoping for some maybe recommendations from folks out there about what CJ's next venture should be. You know, with his skill and expertise in covering hockey, and maybe we already had somebody say cricket,
maybe baseball.
A myriad of things.
The season's still going strong.
It is going strong.
I feel
a lot of stuff
like he knows too much about baseball, though.
I know too much about hockey also. What are you talking about?
You've seen too many pitch counts.
Of course, no, you're absolutely right. You do. You totally do.
I do.
No, you're totally right.
Thank you.
I am. Max, he knows too much about baseball. I think it's going to be a problem.
Huh?
Wait, College World Series starting this week.
Oh,
it is.
We could do that.
It
College
is.
World Series.
It is. Michigan in the College World Series.
You're not Michigan, man. You don't care.
Here you guys go. 3 seed Wolverines. The Wolverines athletic department has a team in the College World Series, has a team that made it to a New Year's Six Bowl, and had a team to get to a Sweet 16. They are rolling up there.
They are.
Some say it's great to be a Michigan Wolverine.
Not you, though.
I'm a Tuskegee Golden Tiger, but I appreciate what Michigan has to offer.
Why isn't Tuskegee in the World Series?
Well, because they're D2. Otherwise, they'd be there.
Are they in the D2 World Series?
No.
Why aren't they in the D2 World Series?
Facilities and stuff like that. We can get into that off air.
Why aren't you giving enough money?
Huh?
Why aren't you donating enough money? Come on, man.
You got jokes.
I blame you.
You should. I should give back more to my
Why don't you pump in?
I should become a booster for Tuskegee's baseball team.
Fixed first and then fix
I'd have to get the air conditioning fixed because in Tuskegee it's hot. It's always hot in Tuskegee. You can't be rolling around Tuskegee without air.
You can't be rolling on Memphis out there. But you somehow do it. So I don't
Memphis heat is different than Tuskegee heat. It didn't make you cry in Tuskegee.
In the middle of next month, you might be crying with no AC here.
I might.
I wouldn't rule that out. We're having an unseasonably cool day today, which is good for you.
It has made me forget that, hey, my car is an oven when I drive it.
Yeah. It's gonna get ugly. It's gonna get ugly. Let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk a little bit about Game 6 tonight, upcoming. Jeff Siegel from Early Bird Rights is going to join us at 9:00. We'll talk a little off-season stuff with him. Jeff is a cap expert. And so he can help explain some of the cap-related issues, some of the trade stuff that may be going down with Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving, what may happen with the Grizzlies and Mike Conley going forward, and much, much more. So he's going to join us at 9 o'clock to talk about all of those issues. In the meantime, you can call us up 360-8255 or on the text line. Not quite yet, but just keep it locked at 67129. When we will open it back up for you. We'll also talk about the Grizzlies' new head coach, Taylor Jenkins, impressions of his first press conference, and more. This is the Peter Edmiston Experience with CJ Hurt, right here, live and local from the Family Leisure Studios, Real Sports Talk Sports 56 and 87.7 FM.
Listen online anywhere, anytime at sports56whbq.com.
Campbell Clinic now offers daytime walk-in care, and you don't need an appointment. If you've got any kind of urgent break, sprain, strain, you can walk into any of their 5 convenient locations Monday through Friday from 8 until 4. There's no long wait you have to put up with the ER, and those doctors are really good, but they're not orthopedists. They're not world-renowned orthopedists who have come up with different procedures and written the manuals for them that are used everywhere in the world, and I'm not kidding you. And you can now see those doctors who treat the Tigers, the Grizzlies, the Redbirds. You can see them today without an appointment. And I'm talking Collierville, Germantown, South Haven, downtown at the Med Center, or even the Campbell Clinic Spine Center in Cordova. Now, if you've got something pressing, you got to go to work and you can bear the pain until the evening, there's Campbell Clinic After Hours. That's Monday through Thursday from 5 to 8 in Germantown, South Haven, even Saturday morning in Germantown. If you're injured, don't wait. Visit Campbell Clinic Walk-In Care or Campbell Clinic After Hours.
Plunge on into the Super Summer Sale at Family Leisure. Complete pools starting at only $12.99. 24-foot above-ground pools starting at $19.99 installed. 4-piece deep seating patio sets starting at $7.99. Holly Adirondacks 20% off. Spas starting at $17.99. Swim spa starting at $99.99. Family Leisure has great prices on all outdoor kitchens and pergolas. Lowest prices guaranteed. The Super Summer Sale at Family Leisure, Wooden Road at I-40.
Hi, friends. I'm Shane Stanford from Christ Church, Memphis. Here at Christ Church, we believe in Memphis and we believe in you. And every Sunday at 11 o'clock, we want to invite you to come hear a biblically based, Christ-centered message that talks about God's love for you and his guidance in your life. And also to hear an interview by amazing people who are doing incredible things for our city and our community. So don't miss us, 11 o'clock, right here on this station, every Sunday morning. I'm Shane Stanford. Remember, you matter.
Welcome back to the Peter Edmiston Experience with CJ Hurt. This hour is brought to you by Lads. For your zero-turn mower and golf car needs. Here once again are Peter and CJ.
Somebody loan me a dime. I want to call my old time used to be. Somebody loan me a dime. I tell you, I want to call my old time used to be.
It's good. Max, well done, sir. What made you want to go here?
It's Blues Thursday.
I guess it was like, St. Louis.
Kind of goes with it together
right.
with the Blues winning, and then
that's true. We did Glorious. It kind of threw me off. Yeah, I love.
We had to throw Glory in there.
Blues Thursdays. When they are the Blues, it makes perfect sense. Glory would qualify under that situation. Welcome back to the Family Leisure Studios. My name is Peter Edmiston. That's CJ Hurt. We are doing the thing here on the Experience on this Thursday. A reminder: you can get in touch with us at 360-8255. Also, a reminder to all of you out there: if you are struggling with or just kind of maybe have a little bit of credit card debt that is becoming problematic for you, or maybe you got a lot of credit card debt that's become problematic for you. Maybe you've done everything that you needed to do. You've got good credit, everything's been good, but then you've had a couple things pop off that you didn't expect. Maybe an expense here, maybe the air conditioning in your car, for example, or maybe something in your house where you needed to get it done, or maybe an unexpected trip that you had to take and you had to put it on the credit card. And all of a sudden now you're dealing with a credit card balance you didn't expect, and paying it off over time is taking you so long and so much interest that it's becoming a problem. That's where Lightstream comes in. Lightstream can help you. It can save some extra money. This summer, by paying less interest on your credit card balances. If you refinance with a credit card consolidation loan from Lightstream, that's exactly what's going to happen. It's an easy way to save hundreds to thousands of dollars, and you can lower your interest rate. In fact, Lightstream offers credit card consolidation loans from 5.95% APR with autopay. Think about the average credit card interest rate is a little over 19%. So think about it, just start doing the math on if you have $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 in debt on 19% APR versus 5.95. Start thinking about how much money that is in terms of savings. It's a lot. And the higher your balance is, the more you're going to save with Lightstream. And just for my listeners, you can apply now and get a special interest rate discount. The only way to get this discount is to go to lightstream.com/Peter. That's lightstream.com/Peter. Lightstream.com/Peter. Subject to credit approval. Rate includes a 0.5% autopay discount. Terms and conditions apply, and offers are subject to change without notice. Visit lightstream.com/Peter for more information. But if you want to save a little extra money this summer, you can pay less interest on those credit card balances and put a lot more money back in your pocket with Lightstream. Last night, did you get a chance to see the boys from Memphis 901 FC?
I saw all of the tweets about it. I did not get to watch.
You watched all the tweets?
Yes.
You were right there in Twitter world.
Saw the tweets. Did not get a chance to watch it though.
I watched the match pretty much, and
I know because I saw all your tweets about the match.
There you go. And it was I think first of all, I mean, don't want to bury the lead. They lost. They did not win. But it was not a bad effort and a good atmosphere over at Mike Rose. A nice night for soccer. You could just kind of tell against the MLS team that they were just better. They were a little bit faster, a little bit sharper. Just like when you watch, a team, you're playing college football, and you're watching a team play a team in a much bigger conference, or a team that's got a lot more talent. It's just, you can just tell. I mean, you can hang with them for a little while, but eventually you're bigger, stronger, faster. You start to get a little tired, all that stuff, and you can tell Memphis 901 FC got tired. Now they were not helped. Orlando City went up 1-0, 1-0 at the half, and then 901 FC equalized early in the second half off a header, near post header by Elliot Collier. It was a nice corner and a really good header, and so it was 1-1. You're thinking, okay, all right, back in business. And right after that, a couple of decent opportunities, and they could have maybe made it 2-1. But about 5 minutes later, there was a blown call by the official in the middle of the pitch. The Orlando player took it away from Memphis 901 FC, but did so by fouling, like kicking a guy in the leg, basically. Very easy call in my mind, but it was not given. Mm-hmm. And that was a problem. And afterwards, the 901 players were very vocal about it and said, this guy shouldn't. Mark Birch, the captain, said this guy shouldn't be reffing, which is, I like it. Let's get after it. I like it. But my problem with that, CJ, is that, bad calls are going to happen, as we've talked about. Mm-hmm. That's human nature. It sucks, but that's the way it is. What you cannot do is stop playing. And they stopped playing. They stopped. They just kind of got shell-shocked and angry, and they didn't. You got to play to the whistle. If you don't hear the whistle, you got to keep playing. And they stopped playing. And as a result, Orlando goes down, has a odd man kind of breakaway deal, and they score the goal to make it 2-1. And then after that, it kind of got worse and worse, and you could tell Orlando was going to go in, which they did 3-1. And it was a game effort, but you could see the fatigue setting in, a lot of mistakes.
And it's hard to just play through a bad call when you are the inferior team, because you're thinking, I'm going to get a fair shot and I might have a chance. I'm going to do everything right that I can do. And then it's bad enough I got to beat this juggernaut of a team on the other side. Then you throw in a ref as well, or throw in a missed call as well. And that just makes the climb up that mountain seem all the more insurmountable. And that lends itself to you being frustrated, shell-shocked, mad, cursing at the world, and not, like you said, just keep playing, not playing through that.
You got to keep playing. And so they didn't, unfortunately. And so the Orlando moves on in the U.S. Open Cup. The Cup dream is over for Memphis 901 FC, and a really good run. And it was good to see. It was cool. It was an excellent, the whole thing was fun. It was a fun night, and it was fun to have that opportunity. And I'd love to see it again. And for stretch of the game, Memphis 901 FC had opportunities. They were not totally overmatched by any stretch of the imagination, but you could just tell it was little things here and there. Your passes all of a sudden in the second half, just they keep kind of going astray. You keep giving the ball away. You just can't quite, keep up. It was tough. And the third goal was just kind of a mess. And then that happened. So they'll move on and get back into league play. But it was a fun run, and I enjoyed it. So hats off to those guys for a really nice run through the cup. Now, for tonight, Game 6, we'll talk about the actual basketball game itself. Off the court, lots of news, starting with the heating up of Anthony Davis trade talks. The next segment, we're going to get into some of the details of that. But also, Kyrie Irving has split with his longtime agent, Jeff Wexler, according to Adrian Wojnarowski.
Please say he's with Clutch. Please say he's with Clutch.
He is not with Clutch. He is with Rock Nation. Jay-Z. And where's Jay-Z most notably kicking it these days? Or in every day, really? Most days?
I don't know.
Where was he from?
Brooklyn.
There you go.
Okay, so is he still in Brooklyn?
I'm assuming Jay-Z's still.
I just assume he and Beyonce have a house that floats in the sky, and they just move it wherever they feel like moving it to.
They probably do, but I think he feels a kinship in Brooklyn.
Okay.
I mean, if the stadium where the Brooklyn Nets play, Barclays Center, did Barclays Center open up?
Jay-Z.
How many times?
I feel like it was for a week.
8 shows.
8. So a week plus
sold
one.
Out shows. I mean, there may have been 2 shows in a day. I don't know, but you may have had the matinee.
Oh, okay.
I doubt it. Doesn't strike me that Jay-Z should be a good matinee.
No.
I think that's a night show.
Yes.
I feel like you got to probably late night show.
Put on your Timbs and your New York fitted Yankees cap and go holla at it.
Yeah. So if you want to try to put 2 and 2 together here, you can. Kyrie, Rock Nation is well known for their ability to kind of combine sports and entertainment. And Kyrie, given at this point in his career wanting to try something new, you could feel free to run with this if you'd like. This is not a subtle change. This is a rather large change.
We're gonna get a Kyrie album.
I have
get
never
Kyrie on the track.
Has Kyrie ever done anything musically? I get the sense Kyrie would do some kind of weird, conceptual album.
Yes.
It would not be hip hop, or it would be like sitar music and
like neo soul sitar.
Yeah, like chanting and stuff. Yeah,
It'd be a lot of stuff to activate the chakras and open that third eye.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I wonder what the third eye says about this.
Third eye's probably on board. Because third eye has an expanded mind, and third eye is probably saying, hey, Brooklyn's where it's at. Get to play with Karis LeVert.
Everybody loves Karis LeVert these days.
Because Karis is amazing. What do you mean?
For me, I'm more of a Gerald LeVert guy, but
Oh, Casanova. I love Casanova, boy.
That's the only LeVert I'm interested in talking about. I don't need to hear more about Karis.
So great.
We'll take a break. We'll come back. Hour number 2. We'll get into tonight's Game 6. Also, the Anthony Davis rumors. We'll talk about Taylor Jenkins' introduction as new Grizzlies head coach, Jonas Valanciunas' decision. Much to discuss. We'll do that when we return here in the Family Leisure Studios. This hour brought to you by friends at Lads. Up your life with Lads. Just off of. That's right. CJ loves it. Loves it. CJ, you can do it. Go get yourself a club car. You can up your life with a club car. You can get air conditioning, probably.
Probably.
I mean, almost certainly. Almost certainly.
Positive.
You could probably do that. That would up your life, wouldn't it? Would it not? What about if you customize that club car? You'd love it. Would you not love it? You would love it.
I'd love the hell out of it.
Yes, you would. Go talk to the people over at Lads. Let them up your life. That's what they asked to do, and that's what they can do with the club cars, with the great zero-turn mowers, with all the utility equipment that you're going to be able to do. You got that four-wheeler on your property. You can go around and do your thing. Get you one of them gators that just like that. Max, when you get that zero-turn mower from them, you can fix that piece of garbage you've been mowing with.
It's not a piece of garbage. Hey, don't talk about my mower.
I'm saying compared to what you could get at Ladd's, it's a piece of garbage. That's all I'm saying. Ladd's it's so much nicer. It's no knock on your mower. I'm just saying this stuff in Ladd's is really good. When you can go over there, you got to go over there. It's off Wooden Road. Come on. Me and you can go. We'll go over there. We'll go check it out. It's Ladd's. They bring you this hour of the program. Back after this, Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 87.7 FM.
This time of year, there's no better way to beat the heat than to get out early before it gets here. And there's no better place to get to early than Sunrise on Jefferson. Simply the best breakfast you can have in Memphis. The food is always fresh, always fast, always delicious. Sunrise has the best variety of breakfast anywhere in town, and the doors open at 6 a.m. when it's still cool enough to breathe. Sunrise on Jefferson. Get up and grit it. Finally, a good local breakfast served fast.
Hey guys, time to get ready for summer. Now, if you've done your part at the gym, it's time to let University Plastic Surgery Group help you with that little extra push. It's called Cool Sculpting. You can freeze away the fat with the world's #1 non-invasive fat reduction procedure. University Plastic Surgery Group can help you achieve your workout goals because they're going to target the trouble areas. It's a 45 to 60-minute procedure. You can do it on your lunch hour. Keep your edge at work and look good this summer. Call 350-4858 or visit utuniversityplasticsurgeons.com today.
Thinking about building a home? Perhaps a renovation you want done right. Whatever your plans, contact Ken Garland Custom Home Builders. Ken understands it's a big decision. That's why he works closely with his clients, ensuring they get exactly what they want and expect. Quality construction, on time, and on budget. For 2 generations, Ken Garland Home Builders has been building and renovating fine custom homes all across the Mid-South. Nothing is finished until everything is right. Call 901-751-1632. Online at kengarland.com.
Visit Frontier Western Store this Father's Day for the perfect gift. All Carhartt Force t-shirts are 25% off. This is the Clydesdale of t-shirts. This hard-working cotton blend wicks away sweat, resists stains with a relaxed fit, giving Dad plenty of room to move. Save big on Force. 25% off now through Father's Day. Next, Ariat polos are buy 2, get 1 free. Frontier's got solid and striped polos in a variety of fabrics by Ariat. And they are all buy 2, get 1 free. Also, all men's pants and jeans, $5 off. Every pair from khakis to jeans, dungarees to FR workwear, $5 off. While you're there, grab Dad some boots. You know he'd love a new pair. Frontiers has thousands of boots in stock at amazing everyday low prices. Still not sure what to grab? Grab a Frontier gift card and let Dad come pick out his new favorite pair of boots. Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, and on the web at frontierwesternstore.com. Family owned and operated since 1967.
Oh, fresh powder. I'll get the skis.
Ugh, I can't.
Winter nasal congestion. Is it A, cold, B, sinus pressure, C, allergies?
I'm not sure.
For all of the above, the answer is D, Allegra D, a maximum strength decongestant plus a powerful non-drowsy antihistamine for 24 hours of relief.
Feel better?
Yep. Feel like racing?
This winter, the answer is Allegra D. Look for Allegra D at the pharmacy counter. Use as directed.
Hi, folks. Good news from Sunrise Chevy in Collierville. Sunrise took additional inventory for the spring market. Now, Sunrise must sell 500 new and used cars and trucks to make room for new Chevys on the way. Huge discounts and 0% financing, or GM will provide up to $5,000 cash now. Shop and compare hundreds of new Chevys, Buicks, and GMCs all under one roof. And don't forget, a $5 million used car inventory. If your car needs body work, bring it to Sunrise. We work on all makes and models. If your Chevy needs service, bring it to Sunrise no matter where you bought it. Find new roads at the Sunrise Chevy Range, 385 in Houston, Levy, and Collierville.
We are Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 and 87.7 FM. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM and 87.7 FM, as well as online around the world at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere on your phone or tablet by downloading the Sports 56 app, and at home, tell Alexa or Google to play Sports 56. If it's happening in the world of sports, we've got it covered. Wherever you are, stay tuned to Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 and 87.7 FM. Your home for the Ole Miss Rebels. Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis and WPGFLP Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Welcome back to the Peter Edmiston Experience with CJ Hurt. This hour is brought to you by Schrader Orthopedic and Stem Cell Treatment Center, specializing in stem cell treatment for your neck, back, hips, knees, shoulders, and autoimmune diseases. Here once again are Peter and CJ.
It's hour number 2 in the morning. And I'm feeling just fine. What?
It's technically hour number 8.
It's hour number 2 of the morning because the morning starts when we start.
Damn right it does.
So it's hour number 2 of your morning. I don't know what you did with the other 7 or so before you
sleep.
Fine. Whatever. I'm saying hour number 2 is here on Blues Thursday, not only because we want to hear some blues music, but also we are celebrating the Blues winning the Stanley Cup for the first time ever with a 4-1 victory. Game 7 over the Bruins. What an exciting game. What a profanity-filled celebration. It was all there. Everything was there. It was wonderful. Loved it.
Best logo in hockey.
Really?
The blue? I think so.
Nah.
You don't think so?
No.
Who was the best?
I'm kind of partial to, I like the Canadiens. I like the Penguins with the penguin and the old school penguin sweater. It's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
What do you think about it?
And that's CJ's hockey logo take.
Oh, well, listen, you can go with.
Yep. The Flames are also cool.
The Flames are cool. The Flames are cool.
What are you such a hater for?
The Carolina Canes, Hurricanes, don't they got the little hurricane thing on there? I like that one. I also like the Kings out in L.A. That is a nice logo. Of course, I'm a fan of the original Mighty Ducks logo with the duck with the sticks. If I wanted to say the Predators, I would have said the Predators. I didn't say it, so I'm not going to know.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the Predators.
No.
Look. Not a fan.
Nash is funny on Twitter, though. The little mascot has a Twitter account. He's funny on there.
Okay. Twitter shenanigans. I'm here for that. That's
yes.
Today, we've got so much. We've already done a bunch. If you missed out on the first hour, shame on you, but you can podcast it later on, and that's good. But you're here for hour number 2, and that's important, which we appreciate very much. Here, as we begin the 8 o'clock hour, a reminder, it is going to be a glorious day today. High will be in the low 80s with very low humidity, with lots of sunshine. The rain that we had last night kind of cooled everything off, so it is just fantastic. I encourage you to go outside and just do stuff. I don't know. Like I was out with my son and daughter. We were just playing last night, just kicking the ball around and stuff. You know,
nice.
That's what you do. Just go outside. Just be outside. It's a beautiful, fantastic weather. We planted some plants.
What type of plants?
Got some cucumber. We got a little
like plants to
honeydew.
eat later. Okay.
Yeah, we got some basil. We got tomatoes.
Okay.
We're gonna see how this goes.
All right.
My guess is the kids destroyed them, but hopefully not. We already nearly lost one yesterday with kicking the ball around, and my son just kind of tromping through. And like, oh, wait a second. I was like, come on, man. You gotta look where you're going, man. You gotta look where you're going. So my guess is they're not long for this world, but we got a fig tree. So we got figs working. We got a lot going on.
It's an Edmiston farm out there. Edmiston Acres. I like it.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice to grow your own stuff if you can. I mean, I'm not saying we did get the figs. The figs did bloom or whatever.
Ripen, harvest, whatever.
We harvested
something like that.
Many figs. We got figs on top of figs. Not exactly an in-demand item, but there you go. We got plenty of them. And they're good. And they're very good. So enjoy that. But the other stuff we haven't even grown yet. So I have no idea whether it's actually going to make maturity or not.
Go run around, catch fireflies or lightning bugs or whatever you guys call them?
We have.
Okay.
I didn't see any out last night.
They're out at my house. Like, and this is the first time since living in Memphis I've seen.
Go get them.
I got some bottles. I'm ready to put them in.
Go get them.
I am.
Go get those babies.
I am. This weekend.
Light it up.
Got to.
It's going to be beautiful. Today, as I mentioned, beautiful weather, so enjoy it. We've got Game 6 of the NBA Finals tonight. Toronto with the opportunity to close out Golden State on the road, much like the Blues did on the hockey side. 4 straight wins for the road team in this series. So it has been road heavy.
Mm-hmm. Sort of like the Blues.
Mm-hmm. 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 So we'll talk about that coming up. Kevin Durant had surgery for his ruptured Achilles. He is expected to miss the entire season next year. You never quite know. Rudy Gay came back a little quicker on his ruptured Achilles than most, but then you've had other guys that took 12 months, 14 months. It takes a while, and are you ever really the same? There's some debate about that on top of that. So that being said, I don't think it's going to affect his free agency and getting offers from teams. It does seem as though teams are still going to offer him plenty of money, but we'll get time to find out about that. We are 1 week away from the draft. No change in what the Grizzlies have expected to do. Ja Morant's been back on the court and looking pretty good. Looks like he has not suffered any kind of long-term issue from that knee scope that happened. He's still bouncing and jumping and doing all the things that you would want to see your draft prospect do. 1 week away from that. We are just hours away, or could be minutes away for all I know, from Jonas Valanciunas making his determination about what he's going to do about his contract for next season. He has a player option for $17.6 million that he can choose to opt into if he would want to. If he wants $17.6 million, then he can opt in. If he doesn't want $17.6 million, he can opt out and then try to get another money amount out there on the market, which you would hope would be more than that if you were going to opt out. But we have not we've not really gone too far like in the whole dynamics of the offseason. It's hard to know for sure until you start seeing some of these things happen. So I'm assuming that he's going to opt in, which will start a whole different, set of things going forward for the Grizzlies, but I guess you don't know for sure.
Does him opting in change who you go after in a potential Mike Conley trade? Do you say, hey, we've got Jonas, he's opted in, we are not looking for us a bonus, right? If Indiana, who's rumored to want to get in on some of these trades, right? And it's going to take 3 teams to facilitate like Anthony Davis trade. So if Indiana wants to get in it, do the Grizzlies say, hey, like give us Sabonis and we'll take him or another young bid? Does Jonas being here say, listen, we're not on the market for a young big. We got Jaren, we got Jonas. We're going to run with those guys for a while. Give us some wing players.
No.
Okay.
I think if Jonas, I'm assuming he opts in, but that does not mean anything with regard to his future with the Grizzlies. I mean, he could opt in and be traded. That's, in fact, if I'm the Grizzlies and I'm thinking about rebuilding, that's exactly what I'd be looking to do. If he opts in, it's because of what we've discussed and the money and it makes sense and all that stuff. But from the Grizzlies' perspective, if they can trade that $17.6 million for another team's worse, longer-term contract, a 2-year deal, 3-year deal, something like that they don't like, but you can also get a first-round pick or more compensation to take that contract on, the Grizzlies should be in that kind of a mode. Because I think over the next 2 or 3 years, it's about rebuilding and about establishing your young core and all that stuff. And so when you're in that mode, you should be thinking about getting up all the assets that you can get. That's how Brooklyn did what they did. They took a bunch of just toxic contracts on. Philly did the same thing. You take some bad contracts from teams that are willing to pay you to get rid of their junk, and you hold on to it because you're not trying to win immediately. And you take those extra picks that you need, and you hopefully use them in the right way. And then when you're ready to compete, you've got those bad contracts are off the book, and you've got some decent players in the process. That's the hope anyway. So with Jonas, to me, that's just another, $17.6 million that you could use to facilitate stuff like that. Long term it's hard for me to envision that he's going to be a long term fit. But I mean, you never know. But he's age wise and player. Like, are you going to commit to playing a too big system?
Well, that is a question that now the head coach has to figure out. I don't think so. You look at what what Milwaukee did this year, and all we can go off of is what he's the type of coaches he's coached with and coached for. Like that isn't really what they're trying to do. The one big, and then like you brought up yesterday, just space the court, spread it out, attack the rim, or get wide open threes. That is the offense he seems running. It's hard to do that when you've got two bigs. One of them presumably would be clogging up the lane.
Yeah, it's a tricky deal. And that is a question that I'm sure Taylor Jenkins will have to deal with at some point. He is the new Grizzlies head coach, introduced yesterday at a whole like kind of, I don't know. It was a nice press conference. Nice emotions from Taylor Jenkins about all the people that he had he credited in his life that helped him out. He had some high school friends there. He had his old high school coach was there. His family obviously was all there. His dad, his agent, his mom, his old the whole family. It was a lovely scene. There were probably 10, 15 people with him. Jaren Jackson Jr. was there. Dylan Brooks was there, representing the players. That was nice as well. But at the end of the day, we don't know a whole lot about Taylor Jenkins. Even after hearing from Taylor Jenkins, we don't know a whole lot about Taylor Jenkins.
Right. And I mean, that's what those press conferences are, though. It's a lot of coach speak. A lot of we're going to play fast. We're going to make you proud. You really don't get a feel for a coach until they get out there and the games start, practices start, moves get made, and then during the season, we'll know about Taylor Jenkins and what he is. We'll begin getting a better picture of it around December, January.
Now, I talked to some folks over there, and I look forward to kind of figuring out and getting to know the guy and all that. But I still kind of fall back on what we talked a little bit about yesterday, and I worry from the Grizzlies' perspective that they are there's too much homogeneity in the front office. Everything is very much the same. If you look at Robert Pera and the type of people that he seems to be comfortable dealing with, everyone that's gotten to a pretty advanced role has a very similar sort of resume. Everyone's gotten a high level, undergraduate education, typically postgraduate, mostly law, but he's business. But they've all gone to postgrad, and they've all gone to nicer schools, whether it's Zach Kleiman going to USC and then going to Duke Law, or whether it's Jason Wexler in Virginia and then at Columbia, whether it's Taylor Jenkins now going to Penn in the Wharton School after that, whether it was Jason Levian back in the day, it was at Michigan Law. So there's plenty of, you're talking about high level type stuff here. It's very similar, and they all look similar, for the most part. And it seems like those guys move up quickly. Taylor Jenkins, his story is a unique one. He had opportunities because of the relationship that he had with his grandmother, and his grandmother knowing the owner of the Spurs. She made phone calls on his behalf that got him into the organization. And then what he did from there is his work. But the opportunities that you have to be an intern and to make little or no money, or in the case of Zach Kleiman, to actually pay to go work for the Charlotte Hornets back when you're in your formative years, that is an opportunity that is unique to a certain economic class, and is disproportionately helped out certain groups. And so you see those same groups that are now kind of elevating within the front office. Tayshaun Prince is a notable exception, although I think as to what Tayshaun's role is going to be, or what it is now and kind of thing, we're still, I think, figuring some of that out. But, his presence is important for this reason, to break up some of this same. But then you hear the corporate speak, and a lot of discussion yesterday about we're all partners here and we hope to have, friendships and all this. Again, it's about comfort. And it feels like that there's a comfort level that they have as an organization, speaking to a certain type of person in a certain type of technical language that is not necessarily available to everybody. And frankly, I'm not sure how much it represents basketball anymore. So that's my concern going forward. We'll see how it plays out. But, as I've got folks in my Twitter mentions, Jermaine mentions and says, this is kind of what Jalen Rose was talking about racial dynamics and analytics obsession. It's what the Grizzlies front office did, overlooking a guy like Darvin Ham, who was the lead assistant in Atlanta and Milwaukee, but the Grizzlies hired Taylor Jenkins instead. And I don't know what the Darvin Ham's individual situation was and all that, but I mean, on the surface, I think it's a very fair point.
And it seems like if this is what you want to do, and the Grizzlies have had issues with stubborn coaches as a franchise. Mm-hmm. If this is what you want to do, if you want to go all in on analytics, you don't want a coach here who is going to come from that old school mentality and give you that pushback. You've got a lot of young pieces in that front office, a lot of dudes who this is their first time running an NBA franchise. And so you get a coach in here, a well-established assistant, an assistant who is widely respected, not just respected, but comes from that old school way of thinking. When things begin to hit the fan and when there are disagreements about what types of players you're bringing in here and how he's using those players or she is using those players, mm-hmm. when that disagreement comes in, it will automatically look like, hey, front office is young bunch of kids. They have no clue what they're doing. And so maybe they are trying to avoid that potential dust up, right? Go out there, get somebody young like us, somebody who thinks like us, somebody who will not only do what we say, but will be comfortable doing what we say and moving towards this more analytical way of thinking and way of doing basketball. And then we won't have those dust ups. That flare up won't come.
Well, if that's the case, then if you have to find people that look and sound like you in order to be able to have these productive conversations and not have these dust ups, then you got the problem.
Right.
Because you are, to me, underserving. And to go back to the bring in the discussion that Jalen Rose had with regard to analytics. I mean, analytics it's not meant to be to dump all over analytics, because I'm a proponent of using data as much as you possibly can. But this is more than data. What people are not fully understanding is we're talking about. It's one thing to say for players use analytics. Mm-hmm. Like I know tons of players and they're looking at I watch Tony Allen like look at video from these and breaking things down. Where did he get his shots from? Where did this come from? All that stuff. Shane Battier. Now I'm not surprised that he's in the front office. For the Heat doing this very thing because he had like the stacks books of stuff. Yeah. And he would tell you about every little detail. There are tons of players. Yeah, Mike Conley does all these guys, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about analytics to the next level. We're talking about machine learning here. We're talking about using algorithms to hoover up data, not just necessarily about specifics of playing basketball, but about players' health and about players' well-being, about other stuff, and putting it all into these algorithms and learning more and more, and then having this predictive language and stuff like that. The high-level math and computing concepts that are not available to players because they were playing. Mm-hmm. They weren't in school to get that stuff. But if you limit your front office to people that are conversant in that, you're not going to have any kind of player representation, which is vital because it's still the game. And mm-hmm. beyond that, it's going to be a disproportionately white representation. And for a city of Memphis, I think it's very important that you reach out across everywhere. It's not because players, it's not because black people couldn't do it. It's because the opportunity has never been there. Mm-hmm. The opportunity was never on any high level. Disproportionately, the type of person that's going to be able to take a year off from an or take an internship after having gone through years and years and years of schooling. There's not a lot of folks that can do that. It's a pretty limited group, mm-hmm. and it's going to be disproportionately well off people, and it's going to be disproportionately white. I mean, especially nowadays. So, if you're only looking in those spheres, or if you're only within that type of person, if you only feel comfortable in engaging in being a partner, quote unquote, in that sort of a sphere, I think that's problematic, especially in Memphis, where and it heightens what we've talked about with the game of basketball. Is that representative of the game? You got a game that's being played, 85% black players, but with 10% or less representation, guys like Chauncey Billups that's not getting a gig. And I mean, like, he's what else? So, I mean, that's the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. I don't think anyone is doing it on purpose, quote unquote. I don't think there's anyone intentionally but I think that's just what has happened as a result of what we've seen now. And I think it's an issue the NBA is going to have to deal with. And I think here locally, we're going to have to see how it goes. But I think that's a potential problem.
Yeah. And it is for all the reasons that you said, and just taking it from just a strictly basketball standpoint. Like there's something to be said about experience. Mm-hmm. Like, you've gone out there, you've done this before. You've not only have you coached, but you've played before as well at the highest level in the sport. So that has got to weigh in and matter also, right? I don't know what the analytics say about Robert Horry. I don't know what it says about Robert Horry shooting at the top of the key from 3. I don't know what it says about Robert Horry in the last 30 seconds of a game with the ball in his hand and his ability to make a play. But I know what I saw with Robert Horry was he made the shots, the tip out against the Kings, the shots he made with the Spurs. Whenever there was a shot that needed to be made, the ball found its way to Robert Horry's hand. He made the shot. You don't need analytics for that part right there. And it seems like you're moving towards a strictly numbers-based way of running things. And it can't be that. You can use numbers to help explain. You can use numbers to help you try and understand why certain things are happening. But you can't just say, hey, probability says if we do this many times, we'll be successful. Right? That is not something that you should base the entirety of your franchise's growth on.
Well, but see, this is the thing. It's like I think people are even in that discussion, like it's limiting of what we're talking about. We're talking about analytics. I think we've moved way past just game stuff. Mm-hmm. We're talking about like how you build the franchise. We're talking about how they find players. How they go and select targets in trades or in free agency. What the sort of regimen that players get put on. We're talking about like algorithms that encompass every aspect of player life. Sleep. Health stuff, and they're all dialed into these. But like I said, that's why I say machine learning. That's where the Grizzlies are investing. Machine learning means that your algorithm grows over time with the data that you give it, and that data it then evolves basically on its own. You've given it the parameters to look through, and then the more data it gets, the more it evolves, and sometimes can highlight things that you might not have even known. But this is high level stuff. This is not like. We're taking it. We're getting far and far removed from just playing basketball, mm-hmm. which to me is kind of it's a little bit crazy. And if you don't have that connection, if you're getting further and further away, if you're just in corporate speak, if you're just in that corporate world, if you're just in these spheres, you're limiting the involvement of players. You're asking them to jump through an extraordinary hoop, education wise, that is impossible for them. Zach Kleiman is 30. Most players are playing at 30, and he's had, a number. And I mean, credit to them. It's not a knock on them for getting well educated and well trained. That's a great thing to do. Mm-hmm. But I'm saying like a 30-year-old player, LeBron is 32, whatever. He's 34. He's been playing. So when would he have had the chance to? Mm-hmm. You can't play and also get your, postgraduate work in, machine learning and computer science. That's a big hoop to jump through. You still have to maintain that connection to basketball, to actually playing the game, or else you end up, to me, some extent, disenfranchising the players from their own game, which is kind of what's happened here. You've seen, sort of people just kind of swooping on in and, taking the game from folks that have played the game. Mm-hmm. Let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll get the phone calls, 360-8255. There's a lot to unpack with an issue like this. Like I said, I don't think there's any bad. There's no bad actors here. I'm not casting aspersions or blaming anyone because I think everyone's doing the best they can. But I think it's important to kind of take a bigger picture view of what that really means, what that looks like now in the world of basketball, because it's not just here; it's elsewhere. Let's take that break. We'll come back. Lots more to get to here on The Experience. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 87.7 FM.
Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy get you through the midday with Sports 56 Middays. Delivered by FedEx. Weekdays from 10 till 1 on Sports 56 and 87.7 FM.
Hi, this is John Conway with Conway Services. Is your air conditioning system ready for the hot Memphis summer? Good news, it's spring cleaning time at Conway Services. We'll come out and perform our exclusive 16-point Energy Saver Super Tune-Up on your air conditioning system for only $69. Did you know the number one cause of air conditioning system breakdown is dirt? A dirty air conditioning system can literally starve the life from your home's cooling system, causing untimely breakdowns, higher utility costs, and even premature equipment failure. We'll remove years of dirt, grime, and leaves from your air conditioning system, making sure you're ready for the hot Memphis summer, all for only $69. It's like taking your air conditioner to a car wash. Plus, right now, we'll treat your air conditioner with a special Teflon coating to help protect against the hot Memphis sun. So call Conway Services, the Mid-South's premier heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric service company at 384-3511, and call this week, and we'll perform your super tune-up for only $57.
Call 384-3511. Conway Services. Call Conway today.
Make Edwin Watch Golf the place to shop for dads and grads with their summer savings sale happening now. Get custom fit for free with the Cobra King F9 Speedback Driver, the ultimate formula for speed, making it the fastest and longest Cobra driver ever. And measure your distance with Bushnell GPS and rangefinders and save up to $70. Choose from the Phantom, the Hybrid, or the Tour V4 Shift. Edwin Watts Golf is your place to shop for the hottest golf gear this summer. Edwin Watts, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee.
I know the sweetest thing in Memphis, and I know it's been around for 115 years. You know, I'm talking about Dinstall's, and it's time to stock up heavy on Cashew Crunch, Heavenly Crunch, Turtlettes, all of your favorite Dinstall's treats. So easy to get. The sweetest thing in Memphis, all you have to do is head to Laurelwood or head to Germantown and Poplar right across from the hospital, or go where they make the candies. That's on Pleasant View. There's nothing that says Memphis better than Cashew Crunch with that little tinge of coconut, or the Turtlettes. Let's face it, there's nothing better than Dinstall's chocolate. That's the mainstay of all candies, isn't it? Milk chocolate, although their dark chocolate is pretty darn good. And if you get the peppermint with the dark chocolate and put it in the freezer, you're going to love it. So many ways to love Dinstall's. Stock up heavy on all of your favorite Dinstall's treats. 115 years of making Memphis oh so sweet.
Get your gun, Nelly, and saddle up Penelope as Western Trading Days at Sunrise Buick GMC. Old-time trading prices on over 800 new Buicks and GMCs, and the Sunrise Used Car Corral has over 150 in stock. Sunrise has rustled up a good-looking herd of cars and trucks under $99.95. Ranch managers have been told to cut prices to the bone. If you're a good person with bad credit, SunriseMemphis.com will help you get your brand on one of these little fillies. Free hot dogs and Cokes at the Chuck Wagon. Western Trading Days, 385 in Houston, Levy, and Collierville. Cars cost less at Sunrise, partner.
At Indeed, we understand that when it comes to hiring, it's important to have a large talent pool to choose from. But sometimes too many good options can be overwhelming. That's why Indeed doesn't just give you access to a large pool of job seekers. We also offer screener tools that let you instantly narrow down your search. Hone in on hiring with Indeed. Experience Indeed for yourself today and get a free sponsored job upgrade on your first posting at Indeed.com/promo. Terms and conditions apply.
I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses. I Buy Houses will buy a house in any area, in any condition. And yes, it's guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your home quickly, call 901-406-1101. If you've been through a divorce, if you lost your job, if you're tired of renters, I Buy Houses can get you your money quickly. I Buy Houses will buy your home in Shelby County, DeSoto County, Memphis, Bartlett, South Haven, Horn Lake, Olive Branch, anywhere and everywhere in between, in any condition. And yes, they're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Grab that pen, 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses.
Got something you want to get off your chest?
You better have a backup plan.
Want to join the conversation?
Someone needs to tell him he has to grow up.
Join us on the First Bank phone lines at 360-8255 or the First Bank text line at 67129. Welcome back to the Peter Edmiston Experience with CJ Hurt. This hour is brought to you by Schroeder Orthopedic and Stem Cell Treatment Center, specializing in stem cell treatment for your neck, back, hips, knees, shoulders, and autoimmune diseases. Here once again are Peter and CJ.
As we continue here on the program, hour number 2 here in the Family Leisure Studios on a Blues Thursday.
Yes, Thursday.
Don't set it back for me.
Or Blues Tuesday. I think I said blues and rhyme with Tuesday, so is it Blues Day?
Yeah.
It's a Blurs Day.
Maybe we need to change it up. Soft Rock Thursday.
Oh, I don't know if the people.
We could have a Blues Day.
Soft Rock. I feel like Soft Rock Tuesday is really.
It's a staple. We have to.
It's really caught on, and people love it, and God bless them. They do. They can't get enough of it.
I hate I missed it. Only thing about the show I hate I missed. I heard it was great.
67129 on the text is what you could do, except we can't check it. So you can feel free to send them in, and at some point we'll be able to check them. And maybe by the end of the show, maybe not. I don't know, but feel free to send them in. Either way, 360-8255. If you want to get in, we were talking a little bit about the Grizzlies coaching situation and about my concerns about the fact that everyone seems to be kind of the same.
Mm-hmm.
And that there doesn't seem to be. I like when organizations, they talked a lot about diversity on the stage, but they haven't really demonstrated it so much with the way that they're making these decisions. So we'll see if that is in fact the case as they fill this thing out more. The next question would be, because they are so committed to the synergy between head coach and front office, and that was the big discussion. I mean, they were talking about partners, and at one point, Taylor Jenkins says, I hope I'm friends with everybody. Like, I want to create friendships. And it's just like, okay, good. I got you. We're obviously doing this thing tight. Okay, cool. There's no word on assistant coaching situations yet, but it sounds, again, based on what they said, as if it's going to be a collaborative thing. Which, okay, like, I don't know. We'll see how this thing goes, but to me, there needs to be a firewall in place between the coaching staff and the front office. I don't think you can have that entire ecosystem all swimming in the same water at the same time. I think there needs to be some separation, because there's going to be some natural friction as the season goes on about certain goals and what you want. I just think that needs to be there, and it looks as though the front office is really trying to get in every aspect of this thing. I mean, just root and branch down to the very core.
Well, look around at the past couple of seasons. There have been, whether it is wanting to play Chandler Parsons or not playing young players, there has been friction with the head coach and front office here since I can remember. Champagne tastes on beer budget. Mm-hmm. That was the phrase that got Lionel, I think, done it. Mm-hmm. And you look at what happened just this season, right? JB wants to play Chandler. Chandler wants to play. Front office doesn't want to play Chandler Parsons and basically sends him off somewhere to kick it in LA. And it seems like they don't want that anymore. And the front office's thought is, hey, the more involved we are, the more say-so we have, the more in control of this thing that we are, the less of that gets out and the less we look bad because of it. Right? Not, hey, let's change some of the way how we're thinking about some of these situations, or hey, let's actually value what our coaches are saying when they bring up issues with us. No, it is, hey, get a coach in here who we can vibe with, who we all think the same way, and that friction won't be there. And with that friction gone, we'll be able to be a better franchise.
Yeah, and that's the thing is I don't know if that friction is vital or not. It's hard to say.
I think it's inevitable, because as a coach, you're trying to win. Right. As a front office, you're trying to win today and set yourself up to win in the foreseeable future, in the distant future.
Well, if that's gonna be the case, you're gonna have this collaborative thing, which I guess like you're sort of trying to emulate the Spurs to that extent and say like, okay, well, you've got Greg Popovich is hugely involved in the front office and also on the coaching staff and everything else, which is fine, but he's Greg Popovich, which is to say he has unlimited job security. He's not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere. Everyone's safe, So everyone can do whatever they feel like they need to do. That has not been the case here. Now, if you're going to give Taylor Jenkins, I guess, unlimited job security, then he can feel invested in a long-term way and can say, okay, yeah, if you want to make this deal for Mike Conley, you want to make this deal for whoever, or we're going to play these young players even though we're going to lose. That's cool because I have ultimate job security and I know I'm going to be around for 3 or 4 years. That has not been the case historically. So, that's one of the things I took away from yesterday. It seems as though they are going to commit to him long-term, but you're going to have to actually see it.
Yeah, and it's
because they said that about Fizdale.
They said it about JB, if I'm not mistaken.
They did, but I mean, like they really said about Fizdale.
Yeah.
Like Fizdale was like, we're changing the culture. We're doing like, they repainted the walls. They reconfigured the locker room. All that stuff was Fizdale. Like, we're going to try to really make this thing different. We're going to bring that heat culture into the Grizzlies and blah, 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 and all this stuff. And then like they gave him 101 games.
Yeah. And it's hard, right? If you're a coach.
And obviously there were some, factors.
There was some stuff that went down. Yeah. But if you're a coach and you're looking up to your point, and it's 100% correct, you're looking around and it is, hey, I'm 73 games in here. Am I coaching for my job right now? Like, are they going to keep me around past November, December of the next year if I don't get off to a great start? And then once that thought creeps in and they come to you at the start of the next season with, hey, you got to play the young guys more. You're like, no, I can't because you guys are going to fire me for playing these young guys when we start to lose. My head is going to roll, not yours. I've got to go out there and win games. Simply put, I've got to play players who help me win games. And it's imperative. I don't know what they can do to put that confidence in somebody outside of keep them around, right? I don't know if you can trust. I know it's a new front office. I know that the boogeyman is out. But I don't know, looking at the way Robert Parra has done things and his view of coaches trying to, not really trying to pay coaches, always going after assistant coaches, right? Like not going after well-established coaches who might demand more money at the time of signing. You look at that and you say, well, I don't know how much this owner really values what I do and what I bring. I better win games. I can't just be out here developing pieces. Because when we start losing, it'll all come back on me and I'll be gone and I'll have to find a new job.
Well, we will see if he's got the confidence. Yeah, it's I don't know. Again, it's all, to me, it's just a wait and see on all this stuff.
Yeah.
The words are meaningless largely because we just have to, we've heard a lot of words, in the past and these are new people saying words, but it's similar. Similar kind of
sounds the same as the other people saying words.
It all sounds nice, but it doesn't mean anything until it actually leads to something. Yeah, no word yet on Jonas Valanciunas. He has to make his decision by later on this afternoon. I guess technically it's like 11:59, so I guess you could wait till the end of the night. But these 6 or 7 hours ahead over in Europe, so I'm guessing that he's going to make it before that. Also, we talked about game 6 tonight, and we'll get more into that later on as well. With the Raptors and the Warriors, a huge matchup. In addition to that, we also alluded to the Anthony Davis situation kind of heating up, and from reporting around Woj and others, seems as though the Lakers are in the mix pretty strongly because they have taken that 4th pick now and apparently shopping it around to try to find some other stuff to add to their deal. They've put Brandon Ingram and Lonzo Ball in there. They're a little hesitant to put Kyle Kuzma in there, which seems stupid because I don't think Kyle Kuzma is that good, but fair enough. They're a little nervous about putting Kyle Kuzma in there. If that's the difference, then I mean, are you kidding me? Like, what are you doing? I think part of it is also that the Lakers feel like they've got the edge. And based on what Rich Paul said in his SI piece, they're probably right. They feel like they got the edge to sign him outright in free agency anyway, so they don't want to overpay to get a guy that they could get next year for free. So there's that component, but it sounds like between them and the Celtics, that's who's going to end up getting Anthony Davis. What do you think?
I think if you can get him via trade, go get him, because we've seen players say they want to come to LA and just not go. Right, Paul George was LA's finest, hometown, LA kid, wanted to play for the Lakers. He's in Oklahoma City now. Kawhi Leonard, different LA team, the Clippers, right? He wanted to get to California, wanted to play for the Clippers, didn't want to play in LeBron's shadow, but like LA wanted to be out that way, so he wanted to play for the Clippers. And now it's looking like after a great run by the Raptors in this postseason, it's looking like he's going to stay in Toronto for the short term. So if you can go get him, because there's no guarantee this guy goes to free agency. And then once he goes to free agency with another year of whatever the hell it is you're doing as the Lakers, who's to say that's still a desirable destination? LeBron James is another year older. I would assume some of these young pieces that are there, should they not be traded, are looking around like, yo, when my contract is up, I am out. Ain't no loyalty in this. They've been trying to trade me since I got here. I'm gone. So the young pieces might be gone. And you with Pelinka there running the show, you might be uninhabitable in another year. It might get so bad in LA that nobody wants to come. It might go full on New York Knicks dumpster fire, right? It's setting up for that. Jason Kidd is there, might do some snake type, Jason Kidd type stuff to Frank Vogel. And as a free agent, you might look around and say, you know what? Nah, that ain't where I'm trying to go. I'll go someplace else. And you miss out on him. Go get him if you can get him and make it work.
Well, you really, every time Jason Kidd comes up, he's
a snake.
Killing the guy.
Backstabber.
Killing the guy.
If Jason Kidd came in here right now, I'd be hesitant. I'd be leery about my job security because he's always looking to move up. He's always looking to step on somebody to get someplace else.
No question. Let's take a break. We'll come back. Wrap up this hour of the program. Reminder, 9 o'clock. We've got Jeff Siegel coming up to talk NBA offseason. He is from Early Bird Rights. Very, very good stuff from him. I think you're gonna enjoy what he has to say. Very smart dude. So we'll chat with him coming up at 9 o'clock. Take a break. Come back. Lots more to get to here on The Experience. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 87.7 FM.
The Press Box with Keith Parker and Elliot Wender. Weekday mornings at 6 on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 87.7 FM.
Upon official review, the ruling on the field stands. First down.
We deliver jerseys, funny foam fingers, and everything you need to get ready for the game. But what you really get when FedEx knocks on your door is so much more.
FedEx Delivery.
Game day spirit. What we deliver by delivering.
Not long ago, I visited a person who fought a raging battle with cancer. I'd seen her gritted teeth stubbornness and watched her refuse to be emotionally beaten down by this energy-sucking attack on her body. I'd witnessed this beautiful person refusing to be humiliated by this terrible disease that was ravaging her physical appearance. Today, there was something different, though, about her. Subtle, but distinctly different. "How are you?" I asked. Immediately, she responded, "I'm praying, and I want to pray that Jesus will come soon and deliver me from all this." And we did together. It wasn't a surrender to despair. It was a yielding to certain hope, to certain promises. It was her ultimate commitment. I often think of this person and ponder how I would face my own situations. I've been there. I know. Well, I invite you to be a part of that, to do the same. Our hope is out of this world. I'm Shane Stanford with Christ Church Memphis.
Visit ChristchurchMemphis.org. Long John Inn to the Super Summer Sale at Family Leisure. Complete pool starting at only $12.99. 24-foot above-ground pool starting at $19.99 installed. 4-piece deep seating patio set starting at $7.99. Holly Adirondacks 20% off. Spa starting at $17.99. Swim spa starting at $99.99. Family Leisure has great prices on all outdoor kitchens and pergolas. Lowest prices guaranteed. The Super Summer Sale at Family Leisure, Witten Road at I-40.
In today's evolving workplace, XMC understands the process of getting office work done has moved from the desktop to your pocket. The new Xerox multifunctional printers and Connect Key app technology are game changers. Are you working with confidential information? Does it need to be secure from unwanted threats? Do you need to translate documents to another language? Xerox's App Gallery provides solutions like secure printing and easy translator technology. XMC is the second largest exclusive Xerox agent in the U.S. with 9 locations to serve you. We've been in business for over 25 years and have received top awards from Xerox. In changing our world one experience at a time, our team's committed to doing what's right for your business. XMC is proud to be your leader in document and print management, and it'd be our pleasure to serve you. Contact XMC today at 888-814-3114 or visit our website at xmcinc.com. XMC, Excellence in Office Solutions.
Hi, folks. Rob Walker, Infinity of Memphis, and we've got a new Infinity crossover vehicle that has raised the standard of comparison to a new level. Imagine having both sports car performance and eco-friendly efficiency on demand, working together to empower every driving experience. The result of 20 years of engineering, QX50's award-winning variable compression turbo engine is the world's only engine of its kind. Like two engines in one, it delivers a combination of power and efficiency that is truly in a category all its own. And only Infinity has it. You'll never sacrifice performance for the sake of efficiency again. And the new QX50 offers more horsepower than its Audi, Lexus, and Mercedes competitors. Add to that QX50's award-winning sumptuous interior, and you have the best combination of performance and comfort in the midsize crossover segment.
Infinity of Memphis and online at infinityofmemphis.com.
Welcome back to the Peter Edmiston Experience with CJ Hurt. This hour is brought to you by Schrader Orthopedic and Stem Cell Treatment Center, specializing in stem cell treatment for your neck, back, hips, knees, shoulders, and autoimmune diseases. Here once again are Peter and CJ.
Lord, I gotta find me a part-time love. Is this Clarence Carter?
This is.
Yeah.
Clarence Carter. Clarence Carter. Clarence Carter. Clarence Carter.
Good choice.
He's the Clarence Carter of music.
He is the Clarence Carter of music. How fitting this song is played as U.S. Open tees off right now.
I don't know if it's open. I don't know if it's happening right now.
Is it not happening right now?
It's over on
about
the West
to happen.
Coast, so it's about to happen.
Sometime today. Like I said,
sometime today. Yes.
Sometime today it will be.
There will be golf. They'll be swinging the old clubs.
They'll be stroking.
They will be stroking.
Yes.
That's what they be doing.
That is what they be doing.
Do you remember who you picked yesterday? He does not.
Great.
I know I got Abraham and
super
Sarah.
big when I asked him
I got
that.
Abraham, the homie, the one, the only.
Because you didn't even know you won last week.
And I got two other studs. Do you remember who I picked?
No, because I didn't make
it
for you.
I got Abraham, Phil, and Tiger. That's who I picked.
No.
You don't remember?
No.
You guys don't remember.
You don't. No, I remember you didn't pick Phil. You picked Abraham instead of Phil.
Yes.
You picked.
I picked Dustin. I picked DJ.
You did pick Dustin.
And I picked Tiger, and I picked Abraham. I don't remember who I picked.
That's good. You picked Webb Simpson, I believe.
Yep, picked him too.
Pretty sure. I'm mostly sure of that. So tonight in Game 6, we'll talk about that game specifically coming up in hour number 3 and get predictions and all that stuff. But as we get set for talking to Jeff Siegel about the offseason, we talked about the Anthony Davis possibilities and the Lakers trying to get ammunition that they need to make a trade to go and get Anthony Davis potentially, and using that 4th pick as bait to go get a player of quality in order to kind of do that. I wonder if at some point Mike Conley doesn't get involved in this discussion. I don't know that Mike Conley would be involved in. I don't think the Pelicans would want Mike Conley because they're in a rebuild or kind of thing. He doesn't fit the age of that core. But with enough teams, putting picks out there as possibilities, I feel like Conley's fluid status would make him available. Do you think if you're just sort of spitballing here, do you think Conley gets traded in the summer over the next few weeks? Or do you think the Grizzlies bring him back and try to do something in the mid-season?
I think he gets traded this summer. I think that they want to, right now, especially with this Anthony Davis thing emerging, and especially with how thirsty certain markets are to land a big-name player, a big-time free agent, should they miss out, Mike Conley is the next best thing to them, right? And so I think that they make this move this summer, I think before the draft, and they have those draft picks to go along with another player, a young player to build around, or not build around, but pair with Jaren Jackson in a build situation.
So that's, I think if you're this year's draft is not that great, as we've said, kind of outside the top. I mean, it depends on who you're really excited about. But for a lot of people, they'll say that it's a one-man draft. That even Ja and whoever, it's not. Yeah, and I've seen more and more as we get closer to the draft. It does seem like the Ja thing is becoming more of a matter of taste. There's a consensus the Grizzlies are probably going to take him number 2. I mean, that just seems to be like in most mock drafts because of the fact that they almost certainly are. But in terms of value, I'm seeing more and more guys kind of jump up a little bit now, and the Ja's not talent-wise necessarily considered the out-and-out number 2, which is interesting. A little more push for R.J. Barrett coming from different circles. I've seen now probably 3 or 4 different analysts who have Ja like in their top like kind of 5-ish, but not out-and-out number 2, which I find interesting. I don't know if that's the knee thing. I don't know if that's just more over in analysis. Not sure, but it does seem like that he's kind of drifting back down to the pack a little bit.
Yeah, and I think it's a function of what we do when it's draft season. We overanalyze, we over critique these players, and that lends itself to sometimes some players not being thought as highly of by some of these analysts. Ja Morant and what he could bring to the team. Let's not overthink it. Let's not overcomplicate the situation. With his ability, you talked about it often on here and on Twitter and one of your many Ja Morant threads. His ability to his vision,
I showed you
his vision 1 and his ability to hit NBA range threes and go a step back further than that shows that, hey, he is more than just a star athlete. There's a shot there, and it's not going to take, I don't think, too much to develop it further and get it to where he can shoot like a Klay Thompson. Not as good as Klay, because Klay is a phenomenal shooter, but shoot like, take that shot coming off the screen, going forward, stop, and elevate straight up, and take that shot and be a threat and knock that down to where you have to get out there on him when he's coming off of these ball screens. And when you're out there on him, your big can't stay in front of him, and he gets into the paint. And again, we've seen time and time again his vision, his decision when it comes to making passes. Sure, he had a lot of turnovers at Murray State, but those are to dudes who aren't going to sniff the NBA. Those passes for an NBA athlete get caught and get dunked on. Well, they catch the ball and they dunk on somebody after they catch it. And he can dunk on somebody if you don't come over there. So let's not overthink this. Ja Morant should be the Grizzlies guy at number 2.
Well, I think irrespective of what the mocks say, because I've always kind of pointed out, and I think it's very true, and I'm reminding you of this now. All the mock drafts and stuff that you're going to see, I think in this case, especially after the first 3 picks, because I do think it'll be, Zion obviously 1, Ja 2, RJ 3. In RJ, I don't even want to talk about RJ's, deal with the Knicks, and I don't want anyone else to take me. And forget RJ. I mean, if the guy was that good, then okay, whatever. But he's not that good. So dial back the attitude just a little bit. You're not LeBron.
He might be pandering to Knicks fans, though. He might be looking around and saying, you know what? The Grizzlies are going to take Ja. Let me get this pander thing going with these New York Knicks fans.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It's not it's not great. But anyway, so that being said, once you have those 3 picks from 4 down, and because it may not even be the teams that we know. I mean, these picks can be traded, but I think whatever you see in the mocks, it just don't be married to it. Mm-hmm. There are wild disparities in how certain guys are valued by certain teams. Do not assume that it's Jarrett Culver for,
Lakers.
DeAndre Hunter or something like that. Don't assume that it's one of these dudes for sure. Don't assume that Grant Williams is going to go late in the first round. He may go late in the lottery. Don't assume that Bol is not going to be. He may be a top 10 pick again. I mean, I'm telling you, there are so many different views on these guys because it's not a strong draft. And because there's it's a real eye of the holder kind of thing. Like, I think I can make this guy good. I think we can work. Because of all that, you're going to see a lot of, it's going to get weird next week. It's going to get weird, particularly later on. And the Grizzlies may be able to take advantage of that with some trades. But we'll see. We'll talk to Jeff Siegel about that and more the offseason when we continue here in hour number 3. He's next. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 87.7 FM.
The folks at Homer Skelton Hyundai want to say thank you. Thank you, Memphis, for another spectacular year. They set records, but I can understand why. You think about the product. Where else do you get a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty? That's what you get on every new car at Homer Skelton Hyundai. Oh, and thank you again for the 11th straight year, the #1 certified pre-owned car dealership in all of Memphis. It starts with that product, but then it goes to the shopper assurance. Where else do you go where you get transparent pricing, flexible test drive, take the car for a couple of days if you want, streamlined buying process? You're not going to be there all day, in and out. And then, and I have not seen this anywhere else, the 3-day worry-free exchange. You buy a new car, if you've got any buyer's remorse, you've got 3 days to change your mind. Just get on Lamar, take it into Mississippi, the first exit's Craft Road, turn left, and go see Chris True and all the gang at Homer Skelton Hyundai.
It's time to be the talk of the neighborhood or lake house with that custom golf cart built by the experts at Lads. With both new and used models, they are sure to have exactly what you need. The brand new club car Onward encourages families and friends to come together and enjoy being outside. Find out more at ladsonline.com or call 901-324-8801.
Lads, up your life with Lads. Lads, up your life.
At Indeed, we understand that when it comes to hiring, it's important to have a large talent pool to choose from. But sometimes too many good options can be overwhelming. That's why Indeed doesn't just give you access to a large pool of job seekers. We also offer screener tools that let you instantly narrow down your search. Hone in on hiring with Indeed. Experience Indeed for yourself today and get a free sponsored job upgrade on your first posting at Indeed.com/promo. Terms and conditions apply.
Napa know-how.
At Napa Auto Parts, you can get $25 or more off brand new DeWalt power tools by trading in your old ones. You know, those worthless tools you never use anymore? Yeah, those dusty things can actually save you at least $25 on new DeWalt power tools. Not so worthless after all. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating Napa Auto Parts stores while supplies last. Offer ends 6/30/19.
You already know you can listen to Sports 56 and 87.7 FM anywhere with the Sports 56 app or at sports56whbq.com. But you can also keep up to date with everything going on by keeping up with Sports 56 on social media. Be sure to follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook for information on breaking news, station events, big guests, and opportunities to win prizes. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Stay in touch with Sports 56 and 87.7 FM. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter today. Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis and WPGFLP Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Welcome back to the Peter Edmiston Experience with CJ Hurts. This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis. Here once again are Peter and CJ.
Oh, you want me to talk? Okay. I couldn't tell. I was too busy flipping you the bird to come back. I'm sorry. That's my fault. I'll take the blame on that one. 9 o'clock, beautiful morning here in the Bluff City. Welcome back to the experience. My name is Peter Edmiston. He is CJ Hurt. That's Max, a.k.a. 2%, on the other side of the glass, welcoming you to hour number 3 here in the Family Leisure Studios. And we Have a beautiful Thursday for you. Game 6 of the NBA Finals tonight. Raptors, Warriors. Raptors looking to close it out. Incredibly dramatic stuff. Kevin Durant undergoing surgery to repair his fully ruptured Achilles yesterday. Expected to miss most or all of next season. Impact on free agency, everything else. We're going to talk about that coming up here momentarily. And I would remind you again, if you want to get in touch with us normally, you could text us at 67129, but we got a little text issue here and there. So you can feel free to throw them in, but I'm not sure we can actually get them before the end of the show. You can, however, give us a call, 360-8255. You can also hit us up on Twitter at Peter Edmiston. That's me. At Conradicalness is CJ. At Max Vincent 95. That's Max. And at Sports 56 WHBQ. That is the station. Are you ready, CJ?
I am ready. Like SpongeBob.
You are like SpongeBob.
Like Archie. Well, that would be we. I think we ready, though.
We ready.
Like Archie.
That's right. Well, let's do this thing. Joining us now, he's really an invaluable resource this time of year. He is the founder of Early Bird Rights, which you should check out if you have any interest whatsoever in NBA offseason stuff, particularly as it pertains to salaries, cap stuff, tax stuff. Can your trade work? What does your team look like once they sign player X, player Y, or player Z? You can follow him on Twitter at JG Siegel, SIEGEL. He is Jeff Siegel, who joins us now. Good morning, Jeff. How are you?
Doing well. How are you guys?
Doing great, man. Thanks for being a part of it. First of all, because we were talking about this going into Game 6 tonight, and forget about the basketball stuff for a second. The Durant injury and the Achilles tear, in your mind, as you're kind of preparing for the offseason and his presumed free agency, I'm assuming he's not going to opt in because he's probably going to have some offers out there. How much, if any, do you think that his injury changes the market for what's going to happen with him?
I don't think it changes it too much, only because even a max contract, even if you're losing the entire first year on a max contract, you're still underpaying him because he's Kevin Durant and he's worth $75 million a year. You're just not allowed to pay him that much. So if you're paying him $38 million to sit out next year because of this Achilles tear, you're still getting a good value on that contract. So I don't think we're going to see a lot of teams like the Knicks, the Clippers, the Lakers. I'm not sure we're going to see any of those teams, be reticent to give him that money.
Would you be fearful or leery about giving him that money with the Achilles injury, knowing that the other notable players, Chauncey Billups, Kobe Bryant, and others who have suffered the Achilles injury, it takes them a long time to recover from it, and they never seem to quite get back to their previous form?
Yeah, I mean, that's certainly a concern. I think the fact that Durant is such a player who doesn't necessarily rely on his lateral athleticism, his sprint speed, stuff like that. He's a tall guy. You can throw the ball into the post and he's just going to be able to shoot over guys. We're going to see him sort of have this late career change as more of a stationary player where he can just sort of hang out in the post, be a spot up shooter, be a rim protector on defense, and that's still an incredibly valuable player because of how efficient he can be in those areas.
How would you play this if you are, David Griffin, who has taken over in New Orleans and has taken a bit of a different tack than Dell Demps, and I think we saw that didn't work out real well for Dell Demps, obviously, for his career. Now you've got Anthony Davis. You've got a fantastic asset. He clearly wants out and trying to maneuver. He and his agent are making it very clear where they would like to go, but you want to kind of open things up a little bit more and have a few more suitors in the game. How would you play this with Anthony Davis, and what sort of package would you want if you are forced at gunpoint to trade this guy?
I mean, I think the biggest thing that New Orleans is doing, both under Demps and under Griffin, is just being incredibly patient with it. They don't need to make the first deal that comes across their desk. They can really, take their time, look at everything that comes across, and decide which package is the best for them. It seems like from the reporting that we have right now is that they're looking for some young players, but not necessarily draft picks, which is kind of an interesting thing because any draft pick that they get in this year's draft is going to be on the same long-term timetable as Zion Williamson, and everything should be about building around Zion because he's their he's their Anthony Davis now that Anthony Davis is walking out the door. So building around him is the most important thing. So it does seem like New Orleans is trying to turn things around and be competitive immediately, which is maybe not, quite the tactic that I would take, but it's not, you certainly can't begrudge them for thinking that Zion will be able to contribute to winning basketball immediately. So, I think being patient and seeing what comes from multiple teams, not just the teams that he wants to go to, is the best tactic. And we'll just see where the best offer comes from.
LA and Boston seem to be in the driver's seat. The Lakers and the Celtics, rather, seem to be in the driver's seat for this Anthony Davis sweepstake. Are they going to be able to just go LA trade for Anthony Davis or Boston trade for Anthony Davis, or will there need to be a third team involved to facilitate a move?
There doesn't need to be a third team, but it seems like New Orleans wants a third team because they want a star for the pick that they're going to get in. So if the Lakers are willing to trade them the 4th overall pick, it doesn't seem like from the current reporting that New Orleans really is interested in that, which is, again, kind of odd. But if that's not what they want, then that's not what they want. They need to flip that 4th pick for somebody else. And they can do that in a separate trade, but just making it a 3-team trade makes the most sense.
Do you think, because I find it more and more difficult to really predict exactly what players are going to do. Sometimes logic doesn't always prevail, and sometimes there's personal things that come into play. Like with Kyrie, it feels like there's some personal issues that are coming into play with his decision. That may be the case with Kawhi, Paul George, who knows? But we've seen success, with the Thunder going out and getting Paul George and kind of against conventional wisdom, managing to keep him on a longer term deal. We'll see what happens with Kawhi this summer and the Raptors, but obviously even as a short term rental, that's worked out quite well. If you are another team that's sitting out there with some assets, like, I don't know, let's say like Denver or something, do you feel emboldened to say, you know what, let's go get Anthony Davis and let's just see what happens? Like these other guys we've been able to kind of convince them. If we put him in a good situation, why wouldn't he stick with us?
Yeah, I mean, that's what has happened in recent years. I mean, obviously that did not work out for like Kyrie and Boston. Mm-hmm. Boston sort of took that chance on him, and it has not worked out. It didn't work out for Jimmy Butler in Minnesota. Minnesota gave up, significantly for him, and obviously he had to be shipped out before his contract even ended. So, it's worked out in some situations, it hasn't in others. The fact that Rich Paul and Anthony Davis's agent has been so vocal about he does not want to play in a place that's not LA or New York would have to make you pause if you're a Denver Nuggets team who is interested in trading for him. It would make the Nuggets very, very much better immediately, and they would be very successful with him, and they might even be in the mix for an NBA championship next season. But given that Rich Paul has said so much about where Anthony Davis wants to go, where he wants to steer his clients, it seems like that would, unless you can just get a phenomenal deal, it seems like it's going to be LA, Boston, or New York.
Jeff Siegel joining us from Early Bird Writes and many other writing ventures. Check him out again at JG Siegel online, and you should do that certainly on Twitter and elsewhere. So Jeff, when you kind of look at this thing, do you have a gut feel for where he ends up going?
I mean, it seems like the Lakers that's where all the smoke is, and where there's a bunch of smoke, there's probably some fire. And they've got some young talented players. They've got the number 4 overall pick. If New Orleans can find a new home for the 4th pick and bring back somebody who can really play next to Zion, I think that's the best plan is Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, number 4. If they can throw in Josh Hart, that would be great. I think Hart is a nice complementary piece who can, really help the Pelicans. Obviously, he can really help the Lakers too. He's a nice piece on a winning team who can really help a team off the bench as a shooter and a defender.
Do you think is that sort of package? How good is Brandon Ingram? How good is Lonzo Ball? How good is Kuzma? They seem to really be reluctant to throw Kuzma in the mix, and I kind of have my question about that because I'm just not necessarily sold on him as a super high level player compared to, let's say, like a Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. I mean, who among those? How would you sort of rank that level of young player with that the Celtics and Lakers could offer?
I mean, I think Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are significantly better than anything that the Lakers can offer, but those guys have to actually be offered in order for New Orleans to be able to capitalize on that. And I don't think maybe it's possible that neither of those guys is on the table. I would imagine that Jason Tatum is absolutely not on the table. We have not heard very much about what Boston is willing to offer, just that they want to be in on the offers that are made. You know, we've heard a ton about what LA is offering. We know that it's Lonzo, Brandon Ingram, the fourth pick, and it's really just haggling over whether it's Kuzma, Hart, what else is thrown into that deal. But we don't really know what Boston is offering or what they think is fair or what they are willing to give up for Anthony Davis. Rich Paul has come out and said that Anthony Davis will not stay in Boston if he is traded there. Like to already have made up their minds about that is a little bit interesting. I don't know whether Boston can change his mind with a little bit of team success this year. But if you hear that as Danny Ainge, their general manager, it's hard for you to be interested in trading Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown in order to nail down Anthony Davis, who has already said he doesn't want to be there.
So Jeff, it looks like I'm looking back at the Celtics just in general here over the last few years, and it seems as though Danny Ainge hasn't really lost too many trades, if any. I mean, everything that he's done pretty much has made sense and has been at times wildly successful, but certainly for the most part, even the Kyrie thing. I mean, if you look at what actually was given up and the whole thing with Isaiah Thomas, and I mean, it's hard to find too many negatives, and yet they still seem to be kind of stuck in spinning their wheels a little bit. Can you be a GM and win like every trade and yet not actually, win the biggest thing that you need to win?
I mean, I think the biggest thing that happened to Boston that took them out of the championship conversation is that Gordon Hayward exploded the lower part of his leg on the first game of the season in 2017.
Yep.
That was not obviously something that Danny Ainge had planned for in any way. And a lot of people, because Hayward was playing in Utah, he wasn't really on the national stage until he got to Boston. And then he blew his whole leg out in 5 minutes and then came back this year and was not really the same guy. But that guy from Utah, the 2016-17 Gordon Hayward, that's one of the 15 to 20 best players in the world. And so like if that guy had shown up in Boston and been able to play these last 2 years, we'd be having a very different conversation about the Boston Celtics. I think, we'd be having a very different conversation about Kyrie Irving. They might be playing right now instead of the Toronto Raptors. Like that injury was such a big thing that it just threw off their trajectory in such a major way. It's not really, it's hard to blame Danny Ainge for that, obviously, because you can't plan for a catastrophic injury like that. But, until we see what Hayward can be going forward, it's going to be hard to sort of tell what this Boston team is going to look like. If he's what we just saw from him last year for the rest of his career, that's not great for them, obviously, at $33 million a year, not exactly what you're looking for that kind of money. But if he can sort of try to get back to where he was in 2017, but before that injury, he's going to be, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with, whether Kyrie's on that team or not.
Jeff, what would you do in the Grizzlies position right now with Mike Conley? He has not technically asked for a trade, but certainly in my discussions with him and the piece I wrote, he made it pretty clear that that'd be cool. He would appreciate the opportunity to go and try to win something as he approaches the later stages of his career. What kind of a package would you look for if you're in the Grizzlies position, assuming that they are? It seems as though, based on what we saw yesterday at the press conference with their new coach Taylor Jenkins and talking to Zach Kleiman, their decision maker in basketball, sounds as though the rebuild is they're becoming more and more convinced that they're going to have to go ahead and do it. So in that case, what does Mike Conley fetch? What do you think is a realistic ask for Conley?
Conley's trade market is going to be very interesting to sort of monitor, because he makes $33.5 million a year on average over the next 2. We assume he's going to opt in next year, which sort of shows a little bit of how Conley's probably, like, his on-court value doesn't quite match his contract, but even still, how many $25 million point guards are there out there? So teams who need a point guard, who might be losing a point guard in Kyrie Irving, for example, with the Boston Celtics, it's hard to understand. We try to sort of think about contracts versus players' on-court value and try to sort of balance those out and try to see how a guy, if a guy is a positive asset on his contract or a negative asset. Conley's probably still a negative asset, even as good as he is, just because $33.5 million is a ton of money. But even still, if he is, it's not by very much. And the raw value of having a guy who's probably worth $25 million on the open market is still, incredibly high. And so, a team like Boston, a team like the Lakers, if they strike out on Anthony Davis, or if they even strike out, even if they get Anthony Davis and they want to make another deal for Conley, that would make sense. A team like Utah, Indiana, Detroit, even Phoenix, if they can open up some cap space, they can do it. So, there are lots of teams out there who are going to be interested in Conley. As for what Memphis should be looking for, everything is about building around, Jaren Jackson Jr. and John Morant. Everything is about the future. Taylor Jenkins knows that. He's been a part of a rebuild. He was a part of the year one rebuild in Atlanta that netted them, Trae Young and Kevin Huerter and players like that. So, I think he understands what he's stepping into. I've talked to Taylor a little bit from my time in Atlanta, and he's a very good developmental coach. He was part of Hawks University over the last, handful of years in terms of developing guys like Damari Carroll, Kent Bazemore to really, become the players that they are today. That was, part of what Jenkins was able to do. So he's a very good developmental coach. That's why they hired him. I would imagine that he's very good in those areas. And so everything is about the future. Everything is about building around Ja and Jaren Jackson. So those are the sort of guys you don't need. You're not looking for a young star point guard in return for Conley, because that's coming in the draft. You don't necessarily need a big man of the future in terms of, a pick and roll partner for Ja. You don't need, Jaren Jackson, I think, is more of a fungible piece. You can move him around a little bit more than you can Ja. Ja's going to be the point guard. Like that's the way it is. So you don't necessarily need a guy at that spot, but you can really go in lots of different directions outside of that. And Conley should be able to bring back, either multiple draft picks or multiple young players who can contribute to the team long term.
The Rockets have made everybody but James Harden available. One of those players is Chris Paul, another veteran point guard who's been battle tested and in the playoffs, made some deep runs in the playoffs. How would you, I guess, rank the value of Chris Paul versus that of Mike Conley, and how does that, I guess, factor into what the Grizzlies may be able to get for Mike?
I mean, I would imagine that Conley should have more value across the league because Chris Paul is paid even more than Conley is. I mean, he's got $124 million left on his contract over the next 3 years. We imagine he'll opt in at $44 million in 2021. He's, he's a little bit older. He's a little bit more injury prone, even though Conley, has missed some time with injury over the course of his career as well. So I think all of that adds up that if you want to go out and get a veteran point guard who can help you win right now, Chris Paul is probably a better player right now in this moment. But over the next 2 to 3 years, Conley is probably going to be the better bet to stay healthy, to contribute at a high level, and frankly, just isn't paid as highly as Paul is. So you have that extra flexibility. Chris Paul, has the name brand Chris Paul behind him. So there's going to be a little bit of that. I would imagine if Houston wants to move on from him, they're going to be asking a lot more and for very different kinds of packages, because Houston wants to turn around and win immediately. So if you're trading for Chris Paul, you want to win immediately because you're not trading for Chris Paul to rebuild with him. So I'm not sure that a trade really makes sense, just in a vacuum with a team like Houston and any other team who's trying to win, because both teams have the exact same goals. And usually when teams have the same goals like that, it's hard to make a deal happen. Whereas with Memphis, their goals are not to win immediately. So you can send a lot of young assets, young players, draft assets for Mike Conley, and know that that makes sense for where the Grizzlies are going and where, whichever team he's playing for next year is going.
It's been a pretty phenomenal job, as you mentioned, the Hawks, and you do a lot, Peachtree Hoops and others covering the Hawks, and you doing some draft work there as well, because the Hawks have 100 draft picks, at least at this point, to deal with. The job that has been done there by Travis Schlink's pretty fantastic, and I feel like the Grizzlies probably, Jeff, should take a little bit of a page from the Hawks book with regard to taking the Allen Crabbe deal. Now Crabbe's got just 1 year left, so no big deal. But for example, if Jonas Valanciunas opts in, and I presume that he is going to today is the deadline, unless they decide to change it, and I haven't heard that yet. I presume he's going to opt in 1 year, $17.6 million. To me, that plus Chandler Parsons' deal, you have some chips to go out there, Jeff, if you're the Grizzlies. And if you know you're going to rebuild, try to hoover up some bad multi-year contracts if you can find them, and just take them on for a couple of years, as long as you get some draft assets back to kind of take that Sean Marks Brooklyn approach, or what Atlanta's done to some extent. If you know you're going to rebuild, why not use the opportunity to clear some space for some teams, and maybe hopefully they'll pay you a pretty penny for it.
Yeah, precisely. That's exactly what Atlanta's done. That's exactly what a little bit of what Brooklyn has done. And then obviously Brooklyn had a lot of success this past season, and now is pivoting toward, it's time to contend in Brooklyn. But that's exactly what those teams have done, and it's sort of accelerated their rebuild. We've seen that happen in different areas with the Philadelphia 76ers. That was sort of Sam Hinkie's whole thing, was try to take as many shots on young players as possible, get as many draft picks as possible, play the draft as if it were like playing the lottery, where the more tickets you have, the higher chance you have to win. And that was his whole ethos in Philadelphia, and that's what the Atlanta Hawks are sort of doing right now. They've obviously hit on a couple of picks already in John Collins and Trae Young. Now they can sort of continue to build around that core going forward. That's a perfect sort of plan for where Memphis wants to go. They already have, two of those building blocks in John Morant, presumably John Morant on draft night, and Jaren Jackson. Those two guys are guys that you can really build around going forward, but you are going to need the draft assets to sort of fill out the rest of the team. They obviously owe that pick either next year or the year after to Boston. They don't have other picks coming in. They have no second round picks, in 2020 or 2021. Mm-hmm. They have no second round pick this year. So, they've spent a lot of their current draft capital on trying to win with the Conley Gasol team over the last few years. Now that it's time to sort of pivot away from that, it's time to sort of do their best to replenish their draft war chest.
Last thing, Jeff, how do you rank, because you've been doing a lot of pre-draft stuff too, how do you tier the draft at this point? How good do you think Ja is, presuming I think it's fair to assume he's going to be here when all's said and done? I think Zion, there's about a 5 million % chance that he goes number one overall. How have you broken this draft down into tiers?
I mean, I think Zion is by himself at the top, and it's not particularly close. And it's unfortunate, obviously, for Memphis that the lottery didn't put them at number one. But being number two is not too bad themselves. I think they've got a point guard in John Morant who is going to be able to step in and play from day one. He's a phenomenal passer. That's right now the passing is and the passing and his athleticism is sort of where he makes his money at this point. He can develop as an outside shooter. The defense is a concern because he just didn't play very much of it at Murray State, whether he wasn't asked to or he wasn't able to, are two different things. And Taylor Jenkins is going to have to sort of suss out whether he can play defense and just hasn't yet, or he just literally cannot play defense. There are point guards out there who are very successful who just are too small to play defense. I don't think Ja is one of those guys at 6'3", I believe, with a 6'7" wingspan. He should be able to be a decent defender, at least an average defender. It's just about whether he wants to put the effort in, whether he can get strong enough to really bang with point guards to get through screens, stuff like that. So, I think the defense is a concern at this point, but from an offensive perspective, he's a great passer, great vision, gets his teammates involved, is athletic at the rim, can handle the ball really well, is going to develop an outside shot. But, I think Ja is clearly the pick for Memphis at number two. I would not be, enthused to consider RJ Barrett. I believe Barrett and Ja are sort of in the same tier, but for what Memphis needs going forward, as to get that point guard, to get that primary playmaker of the future, I think that's clearly the right pick for them.
Jeff Siegel joining us again. Follow him on Twitter at JG Siegel. Early Bird Writes, Peachtree Hoops, among many other stops. Jeff, thank you very much for your time, man. Continued success, and we'll chat again soon.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thanks for having me.
All right, that's Jeff Siegel joining us. Good stuff from our
Great
friend
stuff.
Jeff.
Great stuff. More good stuff coming. Tomorrow's the
Love good
14th.
stuff.
A week from tomorrow, summer's here. The 21st, June 21st, summer's here. And if you waited till, I don't know, today to start trying to get that summer body right, I got something for you. University Plastic Surgeons. You can get ready for summer with cool sculpturing at University Plastic Surgeons. Freeze that fat away. Peter, you got like a little beer belly. Look, you got a little round. You kind of got that barrel body. You need to go over there and get some of this.
Why are you
trying
bringing
to,
me
you
into
trying to
this?
help me out. I'm trying to help you out.
Well,
You're going to help me get air from my car. I'm going to help you get that body
I
right.
appreciate that, but my body's, I appreciate that.
You can sculpt it up a little bit with the #1 non-invasive fat reducing procedure. University Plastic Surgeons can help you with your goals since they target all the trouble areas. It's only 45 to 60 minutes a session. You can do it on your lunch hour. Call 350-4858 or hop online at universityplasticsurgeons.com.
Back after this as we continue with hour number 3, Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 87.7 FM.
Take Sports 56 with you on your phone or tablet. Download our official Sports 56 app today.
Make Edwin Watts Golf the place to shop for dads and grads with their summer savings sale happening now. Get custom fit for free with the tailor-made M5 and M6 drivers, engineered to make everybody faster with speed-injected twist-based technology. And measure your distance with Bushnell GPS and rangefinders and save up to $70. Choose from the Phantom, the Hybrid, or the Tour V4 Shift. Edwin Watts Golf is your place to shop for the hottest golf gear this summer. Edwin Watts, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee.
Are you tired of all the clouds and bad weather? Rain brings pollutants that can wreak havoc on your car's finish, but there is someone who can help. Car Wash USA Express has introduced their most advanced car wash yet with the exclusive Polymer Pro Wash, creating a stronger, more consistent protective sealant for your car's finish. Polymer Pro can only be found at Car Wash USA Express, where attendants are always on duty to keep you and your vehicle safe. For more information and locations, visit carwashusaexpress.com. Car Wash USA Express, because a dirty car is a dirty shame.
At Indeed, we understand that when it comes to hiring, it's important to have a large talent pool to choose from. But sometimes too many good options can be overwhelming. That's why Indeed doesn't just give you access to a large pool of job seekers. We also offer screener tools that let you instantly narrow down your search. Hone in on hiring with Indeed. Experience Indeed for yourself today and get a free sponsored job upgrade on your first posting at Indeed.com/promo. Terms and conditions apply.
Campbell Clinic now offers daytime walk-in care, and you don't need an appointment. If you've got any kind of urgent break, sprain, strain, you can walk into any of their 5 convenient locations Monday through Friday from 8 until 4. There's no long wait you have to put up with the ER, and those doctors are really good, but they're not orthopedists. They're not world-renowned orthopedists who have come up with different procedures and written the manuals for them that are used everywhere in the world, and I'm not kidding you. And you can now see those doctors who treat the Tigers, the Grizzlies, the Redbirds. You can see them today without an appointment. And I'm talking Collierville, Germantown, South Haven, downtown at the Med Center, or even the Campbell Clinic Spine Center in Cordova. Now, if you've got something pressing, you got to go to work and you can bear the pain until the evening, there's Campbell Clinic After Hours. That's Monday through Thursday from 5 to 8 in Germantown, South Haven, even Saturday morning in Germantown. If you're injured, don't wait. Visit Campbell Clinic Walk-In Care or Campbell Clinic After Hours.
You'll see the dedication in every single step. You'll see it in the smiles when smiles are hard to get. You'll see it in the little things that add up to success. The caring and passion are the things that we love best.
Wolf Chase Limb Brace is your Mid-South provider for orthotics and prosthetics. They are an ABC accredited facility, and their practitioners are ABC certified. At Wolf Chase Limb Brace, their services include artificial limbs, legs and arms, braces of all kinds, and custom molded inserts. You can call them today at 901-507-7821 for their location on Highway 64 in between Germantown Parkway and Appling Road, or visit them at their new location in Jackson, Tennessee. That number is 731-660-5900, or visit them on the web at wolfchaselemembrace.com.
Our life to yours. Wolf Chase Limb and Grace.
Got something you want to get off your chest?
You better have a backup plan.
Want to join the conversation?
Someone needs to tell him he has to grow up.
Join us on the First Bank phone lines at 360-8255 or the First Bank text line at 67129. Welcome back to the Peter Edmiston Experience with CJ Hurt. This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis. Here once again are Peter and CJ.
Back with you. Covered during the break. Shots that was taken at the end of the last segment.
So rude, CJ.
Recovering just mentally and
I'm
physically.
sorry.
I had to
I
take some
apologize.
recovery over here. We're good. I'm just messing with you. We're good. Welcome back to the Family Leisure Studios here, where family and fun do indeed come together. It is Father's Day coming up. Sunday, as a matter of fact. And of course, as a
Sure is.
yeah, it sure is. That's right. A certain Conrad Hurt Sr. probably would like to get something nice from a certain Conrad Hurt Jr., no doubt. And of course, as a father, well, I don't know. I mean, I can't say you're a father yourself. I doubt it. I mean, who knows for sure, right? I mean,
I am not a father.
Who could say with 100? Max, you may be out there. I mean, who knows? You may
I hope not.
You may get a Father's Day gift here and there.
Yeah, that would be awful for me. That would be
In a world of trouble if that happens for me.
Wait, who are you in trouble
who you
with?
in trouble with? Just yourself?
I'm just saying, like, if that were to be the case, then we got problems.
Well, again, it's Maury made a name of this. You never know.
He did.
You never know.
He did. I don't. Somebody comes knocking on your door. They call. I guess they're calling you now. Like, hey, come on the Maury Povich show. Hey, nah.
No, we're not doing that.
Nah,
we're not doing that.
No,
we're not doing that. No,
y'all
no.
not finna get me.
But what I am telling you is that in the Family Leisure Studios, a reminder that the Family Leisure Super Summer Sale is going on, and it's a great idea. Maybe your dad is. You're wondering kind of what are we gonna do for dad? What are we gonna get for dad? Well, how about a complete pool starting at $12.99? How about patio set starting at $7.99? How about a swim spa? Whoo, man! Great way to stay in shape and to be able to get your work in, no matter what the conditions are. One of those swim spas. It is absolutely fantastic. Check it out. Again, Family Leisure Studios, 2120 Witten Road, just north of I-40. Still have not heard from Jonas Valanciunas. If anything happens in the next 30 minutes, we'll keep you updated, I'm sure, throughout the rest of the day. If it happens, it'll have to happen sometime today. I think he'll opt in, but we don't have anything official as of yet. Do you have you think he's going to opt in? Right?
Opt in. He's going to opt in because it's hard to see him getting a long-term deal worth the $10 to $12 million range for what his skill set is. And two, it's hard to just walk away from that $17 million that you get simply for opting in. And he can be used effectively in a Milwaukee Bucks type system, right? You're going to space the floor. Jonas can hit the three. He's taking a gamble doing so. He's got to play really well so that he can get more money on a longer term deal this season. But I think that is hard to just walk away from $17 million just for simply signing up and signing in.
So that being said, tonight, game 6. I don't want to, we've talked about the offseason a lot, but I don't want to look past what is, the biggest game of the year. Each of the next 2 games, if there are 2, are the biggest game of the year. Tonight, it is the Warriors' opportunity with home court advantage, but obviously without Kevin Durant. Obviously, you're still dealing with Andre Iguodala, who's not 100%. Klay Thompson can't be 100%, even though he's playing out of his mind in these finals. This is a superhuman effort from his perspective in all of this. The emotions of Game 5 were insane. And frankly, the Raptors should have won that game. They had every opportunity. They should have won all these games.
Yes.
They should have won game 2 and game 5, but managed to find a way not to. Game 6, is it over at home? Do we see, for the 5th straight time in the series, the road team get the win? And do we see the Raptors lifting the trophy? Or are we going to a Father's Day game 7?
It is hard to envision the Warriors losing at Oracle, especially when you have Stephen Clay playing like Stephen Clay, right? 5 threes. They each made 5 threes the last game for the 4th time in the NBA Finals. I think the other duo that's done it's like once. Like they can.
Klay Thompson is. I mean, I know we talk about Steph. Steph is but I mean, like when he takes that shot, like it's just going in. Like it's you don't even. There's never a doubt. I don't remember a purer shooter. Even like Ray Allen. I mean, I think he's eclipsed even those guys. Like it's just unbelievable what the guy does.
Yeah, and at home, right? You got to get that Oracle crowd rocking for the last time, because no matter what happens, this will be the last game at Oracle. And what this Warriors team has meant for that city here recently, it just makes it hard to envision them losing like they're going to do tonight to the Raptors. It's going to be hard. But I think the Raptors get this win tonight. The Raptors seem to be fine playing at Oracle. They won the 2 games there earlier in the series, games 3 and 4. No Kevin Durant. I'm assuming no Looney. Right, Looney's not coming back from that.
I mean, he might. I don't think he's been ruled out.
Oh my gosh, I would think no Looney. So now what you're asking for are superhuman efforts from Klay and Steph, which you can get, but you've got to get something from somebody else. I know Draymond Green, his versatility may make some think like, yo, Draymond can do it, but Draymond's not a scorer like that. Like Draymond can initiate the offense. Draymond can get a couple of nice lob passes in the paint, getting a lot of assists that way, set good solid screens. But Draymond's not going to be able to, or at least he hasn't been able to this series, like really create like he has, like he was doing, especially in that Trailblazers series. I think the Raptors go out there and get it done tonight.
It's hard to pick against a team that, for whatever reason, the home court advantage we just kind of naturally gravitate towards. It's been, but remember 4 straight times in the series, like there's been no home court advantage. It has not been a thing. I don't think either of these teams, because here's the combination. I think the Raptors, not only are they experienced, so there's plenty of experience in that group. They're not going to get rattled by what happens in Oakland, but I think they actually feel more pressure at home. Like I think the advantage is going to be with Golden State going into game 7, if there is one, out in Toronto, because I think they tighten up. I think that crowd, the sometimes when you expect it, look at what happened with the Blues in the hockey. Game 6, it's the chance to lift the Stanley Cup. You've got that opportunity. People are going crazy. They're paying $1,000 for these tickets, and you just come out there and poop the bed. The pressure of that moment, and they feel much more comfortable on the road because it's kind of just you're able to sort of bring everybody together. I think if the Raptors, weirdly tonight is that opportunity. Like they will be more comfortable in this situation, whereas the Warriors, they lost twice at home in the Clippers series with Durant and pretty much a healthy team. They've lost twice in this series at home already. This is not like they're vulnerable at Oracle, even with all the emotion and everything else that's going into play. So in Toronto, I just think they're just more apt to be able to win in this situation.
Yeah, when you've got Kawhi Leonard, and we talked about it some last week, where I mistakenly said I didn't think Kawhi Leonard had that killer's mentality, and he absolutely. And you pointed out, I don't know if you ripped me for it, you probably did, but like you definitely should have. But like that, he went on that stretch towards the end of that game. It's like, oh my gosh, Kawhi is putting this team on his back, and he's going to get them over the hump and get them this championship. And when you got a guy like Kawhi Leonard, and this is why I was high on the Raptors coming into this series, was what Kawhi Leonard could do and how he impacts the game. When you got Kawhi out there who is, inflappable, like I don't know if he's got to feel pressure because he's not a robot. I keep telling myself he's not a robot. but I'm not sure if he feels pressure at all. He's just out there going to make life hell for whoever he's guarding and punish the Warriors on the offensive end of the court for the Raptors. It's crazy to say, and it's hard to believe that the Warriors could lose a closeout game at home and end up losing in NBA Finals, but here we are.
I mean, that's the thing. It's been a weird deal, but I don't know how to predict it. I know that the Raptors, you could choose to look at it a couple different ways. I mean, you could say that like game 3 of the series was basically like a throw-off game because they didn't play Klay Thompson. Mm-hmm. They were, obviously you still didn't have Durant, the whole thing. There was kind of a punt of a game almost. Mm-hmm. To the extent that you can punt a finals game. That's what they did to get prepped for game 4. Game 4, but in the games that they've actually tried, the Warriors have tried, the series is 2-2. We could take that one away. If you go back and look at, this year, the Warriors won both regular season games, but again, how much can you really take from that? You could look at it, if you look at those numbers and say, well, the Warriors are pretty much even. Like, if you take that one game away, they're kind of even. Like, there's not that much dominance. But the Raptors, they could just as equally spin that and say, well, we didn't have Marc Gasol that in those games. We didn't have these trades. We hadn't done all that. And now that we've won, 4 or 5 or 5 or 6 or whatever, 5 or 7. Whatever the number is in that regard. And we lost game 5 in spite of the fact that you guys shot like 48% from 3 and we shot like 25% and we lost by 1 point. Mm-hmm. They could make the case we were better. We should have won the game anyway. If we just shot halfway decent, we would have won the game. So both sides, it's a weird finals for that reason. And I think the pall of Durant's injury was all over that game, so you really couldn't even appreciate the craziness of the ending and what happened, because in the back of your mind you're thinking, man, this has just kind of been it's just soured by a guy's Achilles snapping. That's sad no matter what happens.
Yeah, but the Warriors found a way to win that game. Like you got to play. We talked about it with
that's true.
The soccer game that was here last night. You got to play through it. You got to play through bad calls. You got to play through catastrophic injuries to teammates. You got to find a way to play through it. And the Warriors did that. And I don't want to take anything away from them for being able to, when Kawhi puts the team on his back, goes on, that 10-0 run just by himself, like a minute and a half, 2 minutes left in the game, it could have been very easy for a team to go, oh my gosh, they're just better than we are. We did the best we could. Our star is out. He's dealing with a catastrophic injury, a career-altering injury. I don't know if let's just fold. Let's just pack it up. Let's just go home. And that's not what they did. Steph Curry making plays. Klay Thompson with the shot fake, 3-point shot. Kawhi Leonard's flying by him as he's elevating to hit the shot to put them up 3. Like that is what this team is. Right, they're a bunch of I talked about Kawhi Leonard's mentality going into this game, but Steph and Klay and Draymond, they've been here before. Mm-hmm. There's something to be said about being battle tested in playoffs and in the NBA Finals, and they've been here before. I don't think it's going to be a situation where they just the Raptors come out here and run them off the court. It is going to be a back and forth, fun basketball game with several lead changes. But at the end, when it's all said and done, I think the Raptors have more because of the Warriors' lack of depth with Kevin Durant. And with, I'm assuming, if Looney plays, it's going to be a severely hampered Looney. And then you throw in the fact that you got to play Andre Iguodala or Sean Livingston all these minutes, and they're with their age and with their wear and tear, they're just not able to do that and be effective pieces for you. I think the Raptors go out there and get this done. It's going to be a fun game to watch.
We'll find out tonight if you are doing something for Father's Day, and maybe you're just a little bit worried about the finances. Maybe you've had a little too much credit card debt starting to add up a little bit. Yeah, I got a way for you to save a lot of extra money this summer. It's really simple. If you pay a little less interest on the credit card balance, you're going to save money in the long term, and it's so simple to do. All you need to do is refinance with a credit card consolidation loan from Lightstream. That credit card consolidation loan from 5.95% APR. Compare that to your average credit card interest rate of over 19%. And that can be, that's average. I mean, it can be well above that, depending on what's happened and a bunch of different other factors. There's no fees involved with Lightstream at all. You can even get your money as soon as the day you apply, because Lightstream believes that people with good credit deserve a better loan experience. It's exactly what they are going to deliver. It really will help your summer. It'll help you feel much more comfortable. It'll help get you back where you need to be financially. And for my listeners, you can apply now and get a special interest rate discount. The only way to get this discount is to go to lightstream.com/Peter. That's lightstream.com/Peter. It's all subject to credit approval. Rate includes a 0.5% auto pay discount. Terms and conditions apply, and offers are subject to change without notice. Visit lightstream.com/Peter for more information. Great folks at Lightstream can help you have a very fun summer. Back after this as we wrap up this edition of The Experience, Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 87.7 FM.
Ladies and gentlemen, grab a seat for Happy Hour. Johnny Radio's Happy Hour from 1 to 3 on Sports 56 and 87.7 FM.
The show is about to begin. The folks at Homer Skelton Hyundai want to say thank you. Thank you, Memphis, for another spectacular year. They set records, but I can understand why. You think about the product. Where else do you get a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty? That's what you get on every new car at Homer Skelton Hyundai. Oh, and thank you again for the 11th straight year, the #1 certified pre-owned car dealership in all of Memphis. It starts with that product, but then it goes to the shopper assurance. Where else do you go where you get transparent pricing, flexible test drive, take the car for a couple of days if you want, streamlined buying process? You're not going to be there all day, in and out. And then, and I have not seen this anywhere else, the 3-day worry-free exchange. You buy a new car, if you've got any buyer's remorse, you've got 3 days to change your mind. Just get on Lamar, take it into Mississippi, the first exit's Craft Road, turn left, and go see Chris True and all the gang at Homer Skelton Hyundai.
If you've always thought, hey, I'd look pretty good in a Lexus, well, guess what? Lexus thinks so, too. Lexus is offering you the Golden Opportunity Sales Event. Great offers on all 2019 models and special lease options. Drive in luxury and confidence, knowing that every new Lexus comes with complimentary first and second maintenance services. Stop by Lexus of Memphis, 2600 Ridgeway, and put yourself in the driver's seat of an all-new 2019 flagship LS500. Hey, you look pretty good there. Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event at Lexus of Memphis. Experience amazing.
Hey guys, time to get ready for summer. Now, if you've done your part at the gym, it's time to let University Plastic Surgery Group help you with that little extra push. It's called Cool Sculpting. You can freeze away the fat with the world's #1 non-invasive fat reduction procedure. University Plastic Surgery Group can help you achieve your workout goals because they're going to target the trouble areas. It's a 45 to 60-minute procedure. You can do it on your lunch hour. Keep your edge at work and look good this summer. Call 350-4858 or visit utuniversityplasticsurgeons.com today.
Free offer contingent on subscription. Pay shipping and handling. Cancel anytime. Message and data rates may apply.
Guys, the secret is out. If you want healthy intimacy, your body needs nitric oxide. And now you can boost your nitric oxide production faster than you thought possible with Ageless Male Tonight. Just take one capsule an hour before romantic activity. You'll get clinically tested ingredients that rapidly boost nitric oxide production, and it won't go unnoticed. Ageless Male Tonight has already taken Rite Aid by storm, but you can get started by having 5 free doses delivered to your door. No questionnaires, no online tests. Just call 1-800-461-3012. After a long back order, Ageless Male Tonight is finally back in stock. For your 5 free doses, just call 1-800-461-3012. If results are too intense, please decrease use. 1-800-461-3012. 1-800-461-3012.
Welcome back to the Peter Edmiston Experience with CJ Hurts. This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis. Here once again are Peter and CJ.
Yeah, wrapping it up for you on this Thursday. Coming up next, middays, Greg and Eli will jump in here in the Family Leisure Studios. You can always check us out on Facebook. We are streaming there and on the Twitter and the Periscope and all that good stuff. you can always find us there. We talked a lot about what was a busy day yesterday in Memphis. We had the unfortunate situation, Memphis 901 FC losing to Orlando City in the U.S. Open Cup. The Cup dreams are over. The MLS team came over to Mike Rose and kind of asserted their dominance and ended up winning. Congratulations to the St. Louis Blues, Stanley Cup champions after an incredible Game 7 victory over the Boston Bruins, 4-1. It was, it looked for the first 10 minutes or so like the Bruins were just going to completely overrun them. But Jordan Bennington saved them with great save after great save, and then scored 2 goals towards the end of the first period, and that kind of set the tone for the rest of the game. The Blues bringing the cup home, parade, all that good stuff. It's all happening. The fans, there were fans at Busch Stadium, like 20,000, was raining, didn't matter. They're going crazy. There were fans that filled up the Enterprise Center completely. I mean, it was wild. They had the rating was like 42 in St. Louis. Biggest
higher than the Super Bowl this year in that market.
Well, yeah, because, I mean, why wouldn't it be? Why would they watch the Super Bowl?
I mean, we hate on the NFL all we want to, but we watch it.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm saying for one market where St. Louis, who doesn't like the NFL anyway because of the situation that happened, unfolded with Stan Kroenke and moving the Rams. So there's a lot of bad blood there anyway. I don't know. I don't blame them. I wouldn't watch either.
Again, all the blown calls, all the franchises moving, all of the domestic abuse allegations. Well, not allegations. All of the NFL's fumbling of handling domestic abuse, domestic abusers. We still watch, right? Like it's not like we stop for those reasons.
No, but I'm saying but not them.
It still drew a 38.
Well, yeah, I mean that's for the NFL. That's not much.
Okay, but it's the second most thing watched now in that market behind the Stanley Cup.
We'll see. In the meantime, also you've got the Taylor Jenkins press conference from yesterday, and it seems as though the Grizzlies perhaps maybe finally ready to accept that a rebuild is necessary. I don't know whether that's going to be the case, but certainly while you should assume nothing with regard to the Grizzlies, it's starting to look that way. And if that's the case, then you would think that would precipitate a Mike Conley trade and perhaps would affect Jonas Valanciunas being willing to opt in. Now, financially, it makes perfect sense for him to opt in. He's not going to get a better deal than the $17.6 million deal that he would get for the Grizzlies for 1 year. You're not going to get more money next year, certainly. Might get more long term, but even that may be questionable. So if it's strictly about the money, then he'll opt in and see what happens. But at the age of 27, perhaps looking and seeing what a guy like Brook Lopez, for example, when he went to Milwaukee, and Brook Lopez made 3.4, I think.
Yeah.
So a relative pittance compared to that stuff. And look at what's happened in his career. And look at where he is now. And look at the run they made of the Eastern Conference Finals. And now he's set to make more money this offseason. Maybe Valanciunas decides and says, you know what, you guys are rebuilding. Maybe I'm just going to go find some other situation that's a little more that fits me a little bit better at this point in my career. I mean, I don't think so. I think it's probably a 95% chance that he opts in. But if he opted out, that would be why. And I think the press conference steering in a more of a rebuild direction might at least activate that part of his brain a little bit.
Yeah, but even in a rebuild, you can still do things on a team rebuilding that will showcase your skill set and showcase what you're able to do. Coach Jenkins said he reached out to Jonas, who was fishing, and they had a nice conversation. So if you feel confident that the franchise and organization is going to use you in such a way and put you in certain scoring opportunity areas and utilize you the way you need to be utilized defensively to showcase what you can do, you opt in, show what you can do, and then move on to somebody, hopefully a contender, who's willing to pay you more money long term.
I mean, again, we'll see. But the only thing I would say is, at the age of 27, for a center, do you want to spend a year kind of languishing away from the opportunity to win at a higher level, can you big men typically don't age all that well.
Mm-hmm.
So you never know. Valanciunas is in good shape, but you never know.
Right.
Again, I still think he's going to, but I'm kind of trying to put myself in the mindset of what would it take for him not to? And that's what immediately popped in my head.
Yeah.
Big thank you to Jeff Siegel for joining us, of course. A big thank you to all of our friends out there for being part of the show. Thanks to Brian, continuing to work on that text issue. It's always nice to hear from him. Big thanks to all the technical crew, of course, that keeps us on the air, all the engineering staff, and everyone out there, sales, and keep doing their thing. And that's what it's all about. Big thanks to Max, of course. Great job over there. And Austin Eldridge as well, just walking around. It's nice to see Austin, Greg, and Eli. Big thanks to them. Thanks to everyone for joining.
They don't even do the show.
Where are you going?
Just a big thanks. Yeah, where are you leaving?
Stay here. Not gonna thank me.
What are you talking about? I can't.
I thanked you Tuesday.
I was about to. And now I was going to say it was going to be the day, but now you've walked out of the show, so I can't. So, again, big thanks to me for taking care of all this stuff. Thanks, CJ. We got to get out of here. Coming up next, middays.
So you need to replace worn tires, but you know that without proper alignment, you'll be right back where you started in no time. King's Tire and Alignment in South Haven can solve that problem. For 32 years, King's Tire and Alignment has been helping Mid-South motorists keep it between the ditches. And right now, when you buy 4 tires, King's will give you a free front-end alignment. The other guys say they have low prices, but you end up paying more. Take your car to King's Tire and Alignment. They'll steer you right where you've always found them. 8945 Highway 51 North in South Haven.
If you're the owner of a company and you're tired of a dirty office building, or maybe you're tired of dirty restrooms or floors and carpets that are filthy or windows that you can't even see through, I've got a solution. Let Trinity be your cleaning solution. Trinity Professional Services. They're putting professionalism back in cleaning. They specialize in stripping and waxing and buffing floors, in cleaning carpet. Just make it seem like it's spring outside. Window cleaning where you see through and everything shines. Commercial janitorial services specializing in final construction cleaning. Hey, the people that own this company, they are big construction people. They know what needs to be done. So if you would like it done the right way, call Todd Pope or Tommy Ferrari, the former Tiger quarterback, at 833-6773. 833-6773. It's Trinity. They're your cleaning solution.
I'm here with Anna and Catherine, two of Mr. Charlie Virgos' granddaughters at the Rendezvous restaurant. Okay, ladies, you guys and gals now ship a Rendezvous nacho box. Why had no one thought of that before?
We do. We have no idea. Someone suggested it to us, and at first even we went, can we make that work? So we sent a bunch of sample boxes to friends and family to only rave reviews.
Okay, so what comes in the nacho box?
You get Rendezvous pulled pork, a bag of Brim's corn chips, a bottle of Rendezvous barbecue sauce, a bottle of Rendezvous seasoning, a tub of Poncho's cheese dip, and a jar of Flo's pickled jalapenos from Felicia Suzanne's. The box is $99, which includes overnight shipping. It makes 6 to 8 full dinner-sized nachos, or feeds way more if you're just serving it as an appetizer. It truly is a perfect taste in Memphis. A great gift for family, friends, clients, coworkers, or just some Memphis expats.
Where do we order these delicious nachos?
At hogsfly.com.
Mr. Charlie Virgos' Rendezvous Restaurant, a family-owned restaurant in downtown Memphis in the alley since 1948.
Do you know one of the best things you can do for your employees or family's health? Provide Arctic Clear bottled water. Arctic Clear bottled water is your locally owned and operated bottled water provider. Arctic Clear is 100% natural spring water with free delivery and setup, dependable service, and no long-term contracts. What an easy choice. Call Jeff Manus today, 901-382-2363, or visit arctic-clear.com. Arctic Clear bottled water. Call now, 382-2363. That's 382-2363.
We are real sports talk. Sports 56 and 87.